Guaranteed human.
Can't find AM 640. More stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show and day 2. Since we came back from vacation, we are live. We are live on YouTube right now. Go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. You can subscribe, become a member, or just watch us right now live. And you can listen to us live on the iHeartRadio app or on KFI AM 640, like the old-fashioned way. And what else? Oh, the podcast. If you miss everything or miss too much of it, you go to podcast at 6. John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. All right. So it's obviously very hot. It's about 93 degrees. I went to an In N Out line on the way in. I was pressed for time, and I thought this was going to save time getting lunch. It did not.
I don't understand why you would think that going into a line, a drive-through at In N Out would save any kind of time. It's always packed.
I think the heat addled my brain is what it was.
Okay.
And I was exceptionally lazy. I didn't want to get out of my car.
That I get.
And as it turns out, there were a lot of other people who didn't want to get out of their car, and that's what I didn't factor in. I thought I was going to be the only person who was going to beat the heat and get in line and get a quick order. But I really felt for the guy who was standing out there to take orders.
Oh.
There are times they pull those workers in because it's too much. I don't know what the cutoff temperature is. Maybe it's 100. But this guy was dying out there. He was wilting, withering away.
You know, it's going to be hotter tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
So that poor guy.
Yeah, that poor
Maybe
guy.
he's going to call in sick.
You know, he looked like a young guy, summer job type thing in between school semesters. And I had one job, only one job that was not media when I was 16, and I was a busboy.
You were?
Yeah, I was. My aunt's restaurant. Well, she didn't own the restaurant. She worked there, but she got me a job as a busboy. And it lasted 2 days.
Oh, I was going to say 1 day.
Well, I signed up for Saturday and Sunday just to see how it would go. It was right as school was starting, my senior year in high school. And oh my God, was that a disaster. It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed for my aunt because she brought me in. I was embarrassed for the manager who had done her, a favor. Oh, I was atrocious. I mean, everything that you could do wrong as a busboy, I did wrong.
Like what? Give an example.
I was constantly dropping things.
Yeah, I figured
I'm
that.
dropping plates. They're smashing all over the place. There was huge tubs where you're supposed to put the dirty plates in. I would drop the tub. I would have a whole tub full of plates shattering. I was really no good.
Why are you so clumsy?
And this really could have been like a slapstick comedy from the 1930s. I was like some old Jerry Lewis movie. I was just absolutely incompetent. And then I'd go into the kitchen. They finally directed me into the kitchen. And I was just overwhelmed by two things. First of all, the smell.
I knew it.
Oh, God. The smell of old food and this cleanser that they used on everything, to scrub out the sinks and the counters and all that. Oh, I went in there and I almost threw up right away. And then everybody in the kitchen didn't speak English. They were all from Puerto Rico, and they were nice, but I couldn't talk to anybody. I didn't know what to do.
Were you being mean to them?
No, I was very nice. But I was in their way. What was I going to do? I didn't want to touch the dishes. I guess I was supposed to wash. It's like, this is people's food's on these. I can't do this. This is foul.
What did you think what did you think that job entailed when you took the Saturday, Sunday?
I don't know. I thought maybe I could wander around in the background and look like I was working.
But you're not a lazy guy.
I am not a lazy guy. I don't know. I felt obligated. My aunt had got it. My parents were saying you should get a job. Okay, all right, I got a job. She goes, "Oh, I get you one at the restaurant." So I go to the restaurant. I knew the place. I knew a couple of the people there. My aunt had worked there a long time. So I thought, all right, this will be kind of pleasant. I guess I'm supposed to do this right at 16. Holy jeez. And it was $2.50 an hour. And I think by, that's why when I hear people claim, the minimum wage is only $20. Yeah, effing you, okay? Oh God, but I'll never, to this day, if I'm like behind a restaurant in the parking lot and they got their kitchen door open or there's some exhaust thing and I smell the combination of old food and cleanser, to this day, I flash back to that and I just want to retch. The good thing is 1 week later, through a contact at school, I got offered a part-time job at a newspaper.
Oh,
and
so it was meant to be.
Yes, that's right. It was like just 5 days later. And that was like the luckiest moment of my life. Because I realized I can't do this ever. I've got to be successful at something. This is not going to work for me.
Well, you can't even change a light bulb, John.
No, I can't change a light bulb. I cannot do anything with my hands. Well, a couple things, but you don't get paid for that. All right. Now,
not if it's OnlyFans.
That's true. But only now has that become a marketable skill. That wasn't around when I was 16.
Oh, God.
Another fortune I missed out on. I want to go home already. You took me down a dark road.
I did not. That was Eric.
What was like the worst job you ever had when you were a
sold
teenager?
Shoes.
Oh, you were in paradise then.
No, they weren't the shoes I like.
Oh.
And
like
I'd have to put shoes.
Old man shoes?
I'd have to help people. I have to put people's feet in the shoes. I'd have to smell. I mean, yuck.
That's the only thing worse than touching people's old food.
But I was on commission, so I was pretty motivated. But that wasn't fun.
No, that for me, that'd be a level down.
But but you know what, John? I did what I had to do to make ends meet.
All right, yeah. You are a little more driven and persistent than I am.
Yes.
I'm willing to give them quickly. When we come back, the communists that have taken over our city, our county, and our state are really hell-bent on driving out a lot of good, high-paying jobs in the movie industry. And they're actually, it seems, willing to drive out Paramount, which is trying to merge with Newsom. And between the governor, who is apparently cut their tax breaks, shockingly, the attorney general who's suing to block the Paramount Warner Brothers merger, and now the communist LA County supervisor, Lindsay Horvath, she wants LA County to back this lawsuit challenging the merger. What's really funny is Lindsay Horvath represents the west side of Los Angeles, where a lot of entertainment people live. And the person they voted for in Horvath overwhelmingly is now trying to block this merger. And if she succeeds in blocking this merger, Paramount has threatened to move out of the state. And I think they're serious. And so I don't know what kind of weird game of chicken this is, but we'll talk about it when we come back. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. Governor Newsom has signed a bill aimed at making it cheaper to build homes, and ICE agents have been told to end most vehicle stops for the foreseeable future. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, heading over to the 405 next.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. Your business, though, runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risk. And that's why I'm introducing SuperSure. If your company is more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, or the HR manager, it can be too complex just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At SuperSure, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English, so you see what's covered and what's not. And there's a business value calculator, so you can estimate what your business is worth, so you know exactly what needs protecting. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, and all your policies in one place. You go to supersure.com, supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Southland weather from KFI, sunny and even hotter tomorrow. We're looking at highs ranging from the upper 70s to around 111. This report brought to you by Easter Seals Disability Services of Southern California. From your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. Stall on the 405 in Fountain Valley.
It looks like they've just cleared this out of lanes. On the northbound side, coming up at Brookhurst, it was in the carpool lane. Now all lanes are open. We're still seeing a pretty heavy drive out of Irvine getting away from Jamboree. Out to Santa Ana, tire debris all over the place. 55 northbound coming up on 17th Street. 2 lanes affected. Wonder which ones. But that drive is going to be slow moving away from the 405. And they're clearing a crash out of lanes in Sherman Oaks, 405 northbound before the 101. Carpool lane blocked at last check with a backup out of Culver City. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
I recently opened up a new account at Infinity Bank down in the OC. It was the easiest process to switch banks. Call my guy, Victor Guerrero, the president. Call him at 657-223-1000. Infinity Bank.
July is Disability Pride Month, a time to celebrate identity, individuality, and inclusion. Pride means showing up as your full, authentic self without apology. Let's celebrate what makes every one of us unique. Easter Seals Disability Services honors Disability Pride Month. Learn more at socal.easterseals.com.
This report is sponsored by Mitsubishi Electric. Tired of sweating through another SoCal summer? Mitsubishi Electric's energy-efficient heat pump system keeps every room just right. Visit BeCoolSoCal.com to find a diamond contractor and see rebates or financing. Real comfort starts at BeCoolSoCal.com.
Would you take 15 seconds to say 15% to freshen your breath? Go to Zelmans.com and use the code SAVE. That's ZELMINS.com. Use the code SAVE for fresh, clean breath for hours.
Worried about inflation, market volatility, or the weakening dollar? More Americans are turning to physical gold and silver to help diversify their retirement savings. Right now, receive up to $25,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. Call 888-447-7857 now to speak with a gold specialist. That's 888-447-7857. Again, call 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offers a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium mint coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped to $25,000 and credited to customer account. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
If you run a business, you know how hard it is to get your customers' attention. Yet 85% of consumers say radio is the last thing they hear before shopping. Let iHeartRadio help you reach your next customer today at 844-844-iHeart.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
GiveMeTheVin.com is paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Fix your termite problem with no move out. Seen termite droppings or discarded wings? Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free inspection. If needed, get no tent, no gas treatment with a 2-year warranty. Call today and they'll be there within 5 days. Call 800-PACIFIC. Some restrictions apply.
The semifinals are set for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Daddies, a wondrous goal!
4 teams hoping to hoist the trophy for their country.
Spain heading to the semifinal.
And the only place to listen to every remaining game for free
is the iHeartRadio app.
What a moment in the tournament.
Fox Sports and iHeartRadio bring you all the action, no matter where you are.
The biggest games are yet to come. Don't miss a moment.
The referee blows the full-time whistle.
Download the free iHeartRadio app now.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup update.
It's world number 1 France against world number 3 Spain in today's World Cup semifinal. Spanish star Lamine Yamal looking for his first goal since the group stage.
There it is! There he is! Lamine Yamal, first career World Cup goal!
Yamal celebrated his 19th birthday yesterday. Coming up tomorrow, the other semifinal with England facing Argentina.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, it's Conway Show. Today after 6 p.m., a super duper El Nino is on its way. We'll tell you what that is going to include when it comes to rain and flooding. That's all today after 6, right here on the Conway Show.
$1,000 giveaway.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's BONUS. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash.
KFI. Bonus. Enter that word at KFIAM640.com/cash. If you win, you get an email. Check your junk and spam folder. Listen to KFI for the winning keyword every hour, every weekday. Starts at 9 in the morning all the way to 5 in the afternoon. Next chance to win is here at 4:20 on KFI. The incredible stupidity of virtually everybody who is in office in this state is just astounding. Often when two companies decide to merge, it's because one of those companies is struggling, sometimes both of them. And you merge, yes, to cut costs, because now you have many departments that are duplicated and you streamline them into one department. We've lived with this in the radio industry for about 30 years now, because there's plenty of radio stations that simply didn't make money. And so you merge stations together, and now you only have maybe one sales staff and one staff when it comes to placing the commercials, managing the on-air people, managing the music. And that's why radio companies have merged, because a lot of them no profit. There are too many radio stations actually in a lot of places. Well, it's happened now to the movie industry and the TV industry, because now there are so many choices. All the choices that maybe we grew up with, plus all the streaming companies, which are now getting a lion's share of the viewership. I think more than half of all the viewers are watching streaming services. YouTube, for example, I think is usually the number one or the number two service in the country. And YouTube has, of course, I think billions of choices there. So everybody knows that the whole world is different, and the entertainment industry is never going to be the same. It can't survive that way. So a rational person does not have a heart attack because Paramount, actually it's known as Paramount Skydance, that itself is a merger, is going to take over Warner Brothers Discovery, another old merger. Okay, so I don't know, the Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers Discovery. It's all going to be one big company. So they're going to own two movie studios there, Paramount and Warner Brothers. CBS Network and CBS News, along with CNN News, HBO Max streaming services, along with the Paramount streaming service, Paramount Plus. So there's going to be a lot of consolidation. There will be some loss of jobs. But I don't know if you've noticed, but there are, I read the other day, for example, I read what the ratings were for local newscasts in Cincinnati. Do you know the local newscasts are down between 50 and 75% in the ratings in Cincinnati? And that is true in a lot of cities in this country. It's true here in LA. You lose 50 to 70% of your audience, you have lost a lot of revenue, and the remaining audience is 65 plus. And nothing wrong with that demographic. We certainly have our share, but it's advertisers find older people less desirable because older people are less swayed by commercials. By the time you get old enough, you've seen and heard it all.
But that's true. But don't they have more? They have more money.
They have more disposable income. So you have to work harder and you have to find different kinds of advertising. Something that crowd, because they're the wealthiest group. There's also like a lot of stupid sales attitudes in the media business.
Yes.
Where they could be making more money with certain demos, but it's kind of lazier to call them undesirable and go after low-hanging fruit. Anyway, Rob Bonta is, along with some other attorney generals, all from Democratic states, almost all, and they want to block the merger. Why is it his business? He's just this corrupt, sleazy politician. He doesn't know anything about the movie industry or the TV industry. Well, he's trying to block the merger, and now Lindsay Horvath, who's the communist LA County supervisor, who represents so many people on the West Side who work in the entertainment industry. Now, she's claiming this is going to cost some local jobs. So she's like the hero, she thinks, for these people. Do you remember what happened with Spirit Airlines just a few weeks ago? Spirit wanted to merge with, I think it was JetBlue. And all the left-wing anti-business communists in the Senate, like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, protested this. And eventually the merger was blocked. So you know what happened? Spirit went out of business. Spirit was too weak to stand on its own. And everybody that worked for Spirit was unemployed. Everybody. When there's a proposed merger, often, not always, but often, it's a weaker company looking to blend in with a stronger company. And the stronger company, after it does some cutting, can carry the load for both. And most people will keep their jobs. Some won't, but that's the nature of the world. Nobody's guaranteed a job at the same company for the rest of their lives. So that went out about 50 years ago. But Horvath and Bonta are trying to block this merger. And David Ellison is the guy who runs Paramount. And his advisors are saying, why don't we get out of California? Why don't we join all the other companies that have moved out and set up in Florida or Texas? Now, I'm from Jersey, and I know that in Jersey, the entertainment industry is blossoming like you wouldn't believe. There's an old military base in northern Jersey or north central Jersey called Fort Monmouth. And it's no longer a military base. Netflix has moved in there. And they've built about a dozen sound stages. And they're going to employ thousands of people in New Jersey. And that's not the only company that's relocating to Jersey. And, you know, they've relocated to Georgia for years. There are now companies moving out of Georgia into Jersey and other states. There's a lot of production being done in England and Ireland. There's a game show. I heard this podcast. Rob Lowe hosts a game show in Ireland. They tape all the episodes. I think it was supposed to originally be done on the Fox lot here in LA. And he said, believe it or not, that it was cheaper to fly everybody and tape all the episodes in Ireland than it was to go down the lot from one side to the other.
That's crazy.
Because the business climate here is so horrific, among other things that are horrific. And so now you have American game shows being produced in Ireland by a company that's here in LA, but doing it on their own lot where they already own everything, right? That's what's amazing. They already own everything there. So Horvath has got her head in the same place that Karen Bass has her head, and Bonta and Newsom. They have no idea about the real world because none of these people have ever worked in business. They don't sit down and talk to these business people. They have all their outdated, stereotypical hatred and bad attitudes towards business. So if Paramount Warner Brothers moves out, they're warning you now. And before you say, oh, that's not going to happen, it's like, you know what? Go talk to the people at Spirit. Sometimes it's easier just to shut down. It's cheaper to shut down than it is to keep taking losses or putting up with government interference. So you want to take that risk? It's none of your business anyway. Just because a company incorporates in one state or one city does not mean they have to continue doing business for the rest of everybody's life. No city, no state, no country is entitled to hold on to all the businesses that already exist. The businesses in a free country can pack up and move wherever they want when the business climate and other matters become inhospitable. But Horvath is just a stupid communist. But you know what? A lot of the movie and TV employees elected her. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco has endorsed Michael Gates for California Attorney General. Bianco made that announcement alongside Gates at a news conference today. It was the Republican sheriff's first public appearance since losing his bid for governor in June. Gates, also a Republican, is running to unseat Democratic Attorney General Rob Bonta.
We need to build more damn housing.
Governor Newsom has signed a bill aimed at making it cheaper to build homes. He says the bill will make housing affordable.
We can reduce the cost per unit by $60,000 to $70,000.
The bill cuts fees and reduces paperwork for developers. Newsom says current fees are outrageous and make it impossible to build new housing. ICE is no longer doing traffic stops. Agents are being instructed to end most stops nationwide, effective immediately. Fox News says ICE will still do vehicle stops for those considered the most egregious targets with serious or violent criminal histories. Chelsea Sullenberger, known as Sully, who piloted a packed plane into the Hudson River in 2009, says he has Alzheimer's disease. ABC's Alex Stone says Sully famously announced U.S. Airways Flight 1549 had hit birds and lost engine power and would be landing in the river.
Now, over 17 years later, Sullenberger announcing at the age of 75 he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. In a statement, Sullenberger says he's in the early stages and can find it hard to remember a name or he'll forget a story.
More than 7 million Americans are living with that horrible disease. President Trump has welcomed new Iraqi Prime Minister Ali al-Zaidi to the White House. Trump has strongly backed him, calling his leadership a tremendous new chapter for U.S.-Iraq relations.
They have tremendous oil reserves. They have tremendous potential wealth, and they have tremendous wealth, not only potential. But he's done in a short period of time, he's changed that country so much.
Al-Zaidi has focused on tackling corruption since taking office, arresting several officials. His visit today aims to strengthen economic ties and attract investment. And we could soon be falling back for the we soon could fall. Let's try that again. We could soon be falling back for the last time.
A bill to make daylight saving time permanent has been put on the docket to be considered by the House this week after making it through committee last week. The Senate passed it in 2022. Backers say switching clocks disturbs sleep, causes workplace injuries, and leads to more car crashes. Opponents say staying in daylight saving time all year would make for absurdly late winter sunrises and force kids to go to school in the dark for months. Year-round daylight saving time was implemented during World War II and then enacted again in 1974 to conserve energy, but it was so unpopular, Congress repealed it later that year. Amy King, KFI News.
Heading to the 134 next.
Declare your independence from dated, tired windows. This July, American Vision Windows is offering a savings of $1,776 off new windows. New windows not only lower your energy bills, but also lock in your comfort year-round. Gives your home curb appeal to boost its look. The neighbors are going to notice. With 25 years and more than 1 million windows installed, American Vision Windows is California's most trusted window replacement company. They're employee-owned, so every employee has a personal stake in getting your project right. You will get a smooth process. Most projects will be completed in just one day. So you're not living in a construction zone. And this month, your project costs a lot less, but you have to book it by July 31st. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Again, the offer ends July 31st. Go to AmericanVisionWindows.com or call them at 888-771-2188. 888-771-2188.
Southland weather from KFI. It's going to be sunny and even hotter tomorrow. Highs upper 80s and 90s. Metro LA 102 to 111 for the valleys. 90s to around 107 and windy for the high desert and the IE. Upper 70s to low 80s for the beaches. Upper 80s to low 90s inland OC. Right now 88 in Laguna Woods and 90 in Rancho Santa Margarita. Slow on the 134 in Burbank.
This is the eastbound side, and that's where travel is starting to really slow down, getting away from Bob Hope Drive. And you remain on the brakes all the way into Glendale, looking better by Glendale Avenue. The 2 southbound is slowing down out of LaSalle Park, away from Verdugo Road as you make your way towards the 5. Pasadena, East 210, slowing down from Almost Mountain. Delays and stretches as you travel all the way to Azusa. And we're also looking at Anaheim, East 91. That slows down at the 57 freeway. Delays ahead to Green River. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Seriously, my dealership just fixed the transmission.
We all know how it can be to go to the wrong place for transmission repair. Made up of over 800 pieces, the transmission is the most complex part of your car. So bring it to the transmission experts at AMCO. AMCO, always the right fix. AA MCO. Special financing available. Restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. See AMCO.com for complete details.
Call 1-800-GO-AMCO today.
7 days on a Mexican Riviera cruise is the easiest way to make the whole family happy. Something for everyone and you, of course. Beach time, culture, food, relaxation, and stellar sweeping ocean views right from your cabin. Life on board luxurious Norwegian ships should be experienced at least once in your lifetime. And the iconic ports and entertainment of the Mexican Riviera make this vacation a no-brainer, especially if you're in LA. A Norwegian cruise vacation means you don't have to worry about logistics. 2027 bookings from LA and San Diego are live now. You'll go to Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, Ensenada, Mazatlan. Party, relax, explore. You don't have to choose. You can do it all. Casual bites to sophisticated dining, whatever you're in the mood for all the time on board a Norwegian cruise. Open air decks to feel the breeze. I can feel it now. Norwegian Cruise Line. It's different out here. Book your cruise now. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or call 188-NCL-CRUISE.
L&K's Therapy Thursday is now a podcast. Secrets, betrayal, relationship drama, it's all there. Binge the episodes now on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. L&K's Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
Call 844-GO-SMILE to learn about the new Lifestyle Smile dental implants from Lasting Smiles.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
OPO Injury Lawyers, rooted in this community, relentless in justice. OPOLaw.com.
Living on the edge is where you thrive, and Toyota takes you there with Tacoma, Tundra, 4Runner, Land Cruiser, and Sequoia. From crystal blue lakes to open plains, Toyota vehicles are built for the ones who pack courage, not maps, the wild at heart. Because we know it's not the destination that drives you, it's seeking the uncharted that completes you. Wherever your horizon leads, we got you. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota makes the vehicles, you make it yours. With Toyota's line of accessories, from lift kits to suspension upgrades, modify your Toyota truck or SUV to suit your off-road dreams. We partner with leading brands like ARB, Rigid, Rhino, and more, so you can customize with confidence. Visit your local dealer for warranty custom work or shop online at toyota.com/accessories. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
The House Whisperer meets the Horse Gambler. Dean Sharp joins Tim Conway Jr. every Thursday evening at 7:20. More stimulating talk on KFI.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. We are on every day from 3 to 6 after 6 o'clock. John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. Moist line is 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86, or use the TalkBack feature on the iHeart Radio app for Friday. And you can watch us on YouTube right now. Hi there, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. So watch us, join in the chat as well. We were just telling you about the idiocy of Rob Bonta, the Attorney General, and LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath. They're both getting involved in a lawsuit to try to block the Paramount Warner Brothers merger, which is just incredibly stupid. And there are some major players on the Paramount side who are saying, "Fine, we'll move out of the state." Now, the last wealthy person they pissed off was Elon Musk. And he got a 2-word tweet from a union leader turned legislator named Lorena Gonzalez, who said, fuck Elon. Oops. Bleep that out. You got that? Okay. Well, that was her tweet. For those of you online, that was what Lorena Gonzalez said, not me.
YouTube definitely heard it.
YouTube heard it. Well, there's a little treat for you guys. This is why you should be watching. She said, F Elon Musk on Twitter. And Musk responded to, in effect, it's like, fine. And moved out shortly thereafter. I moved most of the Tesla company out to Austin, Texas. And that's going on quite a bit with businesses. So now you've got Bonta and Horvath wanting to sue Paramount to stop the Warner Brothers merger. They can easily move. I mean, I can't believe with all the thousands and thousands of Hollywood jobs that have already left the state for other states and countries, like I was just explaining in the last segment, with productions in the city of LA are down like 40 to 50%, television productions. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they want to destroy it. And they really are about destroying successful businesses. I mean, that's what communists do. And, you know, they have different words to describe their belief system. They're democratic socialist, blah. No, this is communist rule. Always destroys the businesses. And why they don't understand that the businesses now can move very quickly into another place. And there's 49 other states willing to offer really sweet tax deals. So in light of all this, Newsom is actually short of money, even though there's a record amount of revenue. I think the budget this year is $370 billion, which is 3.5 times larger than the budget was 15 years ago. He blew too much money on illegal alien health care. That's like $13 billion on illegal alien health care, which is just horrendous, unconscionable, inexcusable. He should be removed from office for that. Giving away that much money in health care to people who don't belong here. And don't give me this, well then what's going to happen? They're going to have to go to the emergency room. No, they can go back to their home country. Newsom is short on money, so he put a cap on business tax breaks. Yeah, there's whatever business tax breaks exist, he's put a cap on them to try to balance his out-of-whack budget to feed the illegal alien healthcare monster. And 3 dozen lawmakers sent him a letter saying, what the hell did you do? Because it put a cap on the tax breaks for the film and television industry. The hell? California will be significantly kneecapped, according to the letter from legislators, some of them Democrats. Assemblyman Rick Zabur, who's this socialist nut from the west side of LA, he even said, we have to have people understand that these changes are really significant and will result in significant job loss if we don't fix them. Film industry groups have been warning that capping the tax breaks would violate the legislature's promise to help businesses, which Newsom just announced this week would deliver $6 billion in positive economic impact. So he announces that on one day, and a couple of days later, he's capping the tax breaks. California Post calls it a colossal screw-up. And the Motion Picture Association and the Entertainment Union Coalition wrote a letter saying the production companies are learning that the credits earned under the program may not be honored as originally promised. What are they doing? Does Newsom even know this? Does he read this stuff? Does it? How do you have all these 36 lawmakers, including all these Democrats? You guys wrote the bill. You guys passed the bill, but you don't read the bill, and you don't realize you just undid the tax breaks that you had voted on and written a bill for. 1 week, they're giving the industry tax breaks. The next week, they're taking them away. And then they go, well, this is really terrible. Well, it's you. I don't know what dirty, greasy, slimy lobbyist is writing this stuff. It's apparently not the legislators, obviously, and maybe they don't know how to read. Nothing would surprise me anymore. Now, when we come back, Newsom made a big deal about ordering office workers in the state to go back to the office 4 days a week. My God, it's 6.5 years. It is 6.5 years. And up until July the 1st, Sacramento government workers were still not showing up in the office. Now they have been there. What this would be the third week, right? And now they're claiming that something really horrible is going on in the offices. That it's a disgusting, unhealthy discovery, and they want out again. What could
That's
this?
a tease, John.
Yeah, you like that?
I do.
All right. Tell you about it when we come back. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. The heat wave in Southern California is not over yet, and LA keeps asking for more money from the feds for fire recovery. We'll have more at the top of the hour. We're going to go to the 210 next.
If you're looking to sell your home, you call Seller's Advantage, and they're going to make you a cash offer, no need for repairs. They buy it as is for cash. They'll close in days, and they might offer you a $10,000 advance to help you move. Go read the review online. Call for a no-obligation offer. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com. We have somebody sing.
Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658. Providence Realty DRE number 01915212.
From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Brush fire off the 210 in Irwindale.
This is affecting the freeway on the eastbound side. It has the Irwindale off-ramp off limits, and big delays here are pushing back all the way out of Pasadena, getting away from the 134 freeway. If you needed to exit at Irwindale Avenue, you can always, take the 605 instead, northbound up to Huntington Drive as an alternate, or continue eastbound on the 210 and exit at either Vernon or Azusa Avenue. So also take a look at the westbound side of the 210. That's slowing out of Arcadia, leaving Santa Anita Avenue in stretches all the way back to the 134. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
When you're hurt in an accident, results matter, and so do you. Call Sweet James. The attorneys at Sweet James have spent 25 years delivering results for injured accident victims that send insurance companies a message. If you're hurt in an accident, call for a free case review. 1-800-9-MILLION. 1-800-9-MILLION. Outcome not guaranteed. Offices in Los Angeles. SweetJames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Fox One.
Spain advances to the final in the World Cup, shutting out France 2-0. On Sunday, they'll meet the winner of tomorrow's match between England and Argentina. MLB owners seem to be okay with allowing players to take part in the 2028 LA Olympics, but the players have a host of concerns. The two sides will continue to talk. Police in Florida say the investigation of Jets quarterback Geno Smith into an alleged battery charge is no longer active. I'm Frank Aaron.
The excitement of the FIFA World Cup is now streaming live on Fox One, the official English streaming platform to catch every unforgettable moment. Fox One brings the action straight to your screen, so you never miss a goal. Download Fox One and experience the FIFA World Cup live. This report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem Blue Cross and Chicas Verdes are helping students throughout Los Angeles learn how to grow and prepare their own healthy food. They're joined by Sparks and will provide education, recipes, and knowledge to students and families. Learn more at anthem.com/CA/Sparks. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
Hey, commercial contractors, got 5 trucks on the road today? Let's talk about getting to 50. Service Titan, the all-in-one software for the trades, helps you scale smarter, faster, and more profitably. Take control of your growth at ServiceTitan.com. That's ServiceTitan.com.
Lose the weight, feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST Medical.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
When power goes out and cell networks fail, AM radio can be a lifeline with local news, weather, and emergency information. But time is running out. AM radio could disappear from new cars unless Congress acts. Please text the 2 letters AM to 39179 and tell Congress to vote yes on the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Text the letters AM to 39179. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop. This message furnished by this station.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
Spruce! It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Our front paws, hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show, the line outside is more important than the food inside. Andy Reesmeyer is one of these guys.
A sheep.
A sheep. Bah for us.
Bah.
The Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow at 9.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's the John Kobylt Show. I almost did it.
You're almost did.
Today. That was much smoother yesterday on the first day back. We're live on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show, and you could watch this. And, you know, you missed an F-bomb a few minutes ago. We need to put these in. That'll goose up the viewership on YouTube. We've been talking about Gavin Newsom, and after 6.5 years of Sacramento government employees sitting home in their pajamas or worse, I imagine there were a lot of employees just sitting in their underwear, or maybe they were outright nude at the kitchen table. And, you were calling them up and sending them forms, and they were just sitting there totally naked, unbathed, unwashed.
Okay, we get it.
You got it? Well, I feel for these people. It's just funny that the union fought Newsom for a while not to go back. I mean, obviously, 6.5 years, he wasn't trying all that hard to send him back. But July 1st was supposed to be 4-day work weeks in the office. All the lazy slob union people started complaining. It's the Service Employees International Union Local 1000. Well, they finally get back to work. And within 2.5 weeks, they are now claiming that a number of the government buildings are unsafe or potentially unsafe. The union is claiming at the Department of Industrial Relations that Legionella bacteria was detected in the building. And this is something that gets into like the air conditioning system. And it's a bacteria and it can kill you. It's where Legionnaire's disease came from.
Yeah.
I think this goes back to 1976. There was, I believe, an American Legion Hall, which had a bad air conditioning heating system, and bacteria had formed. It can form in the water, like maybe the cooling water system that they use. Anyway, the bacteria got into the ducts and started coming out of the vents. And all these people got sick or died in Philadelphia from it. It's a bacteria that can cause a severe type of pneumonia if you consume the infected water, and often grows in human-made water building systems. That's according to the CDC. So this government union says the Legionella bacteria was detected last month. Now, the Department of Industrial Relations is not denying that it's there. They say they're going to be flushing the plumbing fixtures and the water system. DIR has shared these findings with property management, and because they lease space, from a landlord. But state government buildings have had a long history with this particular bacteria. The offices for the public employees retirement system were affected. There's also a bed bug infestation at the California Department of Education. How can they have bed bugs? Do they have beds?
I was going to say, do they have beds? I guess they take their nappies.
They probably do. Government workers have beds at the Department of Education. I wonder if they wear their pajamas to work now.
Oh, with the fuzzy slippers.
With the fuzzy. The Department of General Services Assistant Deputy Director. Well, there's a title, huh? Someone named Fallon Aquosa. Well, this guy claims that they have acted immediately, claiming that it's not true there's an infestation, but they're considering a whole building treatment. Well, how could you say there's no infestation, but you're going to treat the entire building for an infestation?
It's the same thing as saying the air is not dangerous and you're giving out masks and all of that stuff.
Does this guy do they even hear themselves when they sound that stupid? If you're clearing out the whole building and spraying it with poisonous chemicals, something's infesting. Here's another one. Unions claiming cockroaches have also been seen in some of the buildings. Cockroaches, Legionnaire's disease, and bed bugs.
Okay, I don't blame them for not wanting to go back.
I guess it's real because
I thought it was fake at first.
Yeah.
But if it's real, then I don't blame them.
I mean, it was a great way to get an extra week off.
Yeah.
Is complain, there's cockroaches and bed bugs and there's deadly bacteria in the air. Oh, okay. I guess we got to close down the buildings and look for it. Hey, we can't find anything. No, they found everything here. Newsom had said last Thursday about forcing the workers back. Well, I'm glad people are getting back to work. It's a healthy thing for their mental health, not for their physical health, though. Really, he's on a roll. All right, we come back. We're going to have Michael Gates on. Michael Gates is the former city attorney for Huntington Beach. He also worked for the Department of Justice in the Trump administration. He is now returned to California, and he made the runoff for Attorney General. So he is going to be taking on the greasy, sleazy, corrupt Rob Bonta. And Michael Gates has a big announcement to make. And Michael will come on himself to talk about it when we return. First, Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Extreme heat. I'm Deborah Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Southern California's heat wave continues.
Temperatures are climbing to their highest levels of the year with triple-digit weather in parts of LA County through Thursday, and extreme heat warnings in place through 8 p.m. Thursday for the valleys, mountains, and inland portions of the coastal plain. LA, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties are expecting highs of 90 to 110 degrees. The National Weather Service says Wednesday will be the hottest day of the week, and the heat's increasing fire danger and risks of heat-related illness. Lingering monsoonal moisture will boost humidity and make conditions even more uncomfortable. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
LA keeps asking for money from the feds for fire recovery.
LA Mayor Bass and County Supervisor Catherine Barger are asking congressional leaders for more than $15.5 billion to rebuild from the fires in Pacific Palisades and Altadena. Their letters to Congress noted President Trump's request of $87.5 billion, mostly for his war against Iran, did not reference disaster relief for LA. Other members of Congress representing the Southland sent similar letters last week, while Senators Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla from California complained about a lack of fire recovery money last month. And Governor Newsom's been asking for $30 billion in aid over the last year. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
The Los Angeles Police Commission has signed off on the LAPD's decision to stop deploying automated license plate reader cameras amid privacy concerns. The department's 3-year contract with Flock Safety expired Saturday, though officials are working with the company on a new agreement that clearly defines data security and privacy protections for the pole-mounted cameras. The U.S. is renewing its blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Lama Hassan says it follows more strikes between the U.S. and Iran.
In a statement that was released by the IRGC, they say in this third wave of attacks, they hit weapons storage sheds, an enemy ship, as well as aircraft parts, and destroying or damaging a number of drones.
The Kuwaiti Armed Forces say they've shot down 6 missiles and 33 drones. Justices Elena Kagan and Amy Coney Barrett have testified before Congress asking lawmakers to approve new security for the Supreme Court. ABC's Peter Haralambu says they want more security for the justices and their families as there's been a 38% increase in threats against them.
The Supreme Court Police reports a 38% increase in threats to members of the court over the past year. The hearing marked the first time since 2019 that members of the court appeared before lawmakers to defend their budget.
The court wants to increase the number of security officers assigned to each justice and build an off-site visitor security screening facility. A former graduate student at Columbia University who won a court battle over his deportation is suing the federal government and private groups, claiming he was targeted for leading pro-Palestinian protests. Mahmoud Khalil alleges there was a coordinated campaign between the Trump administration, Heritage Foundation, and online surveillance groups to suppress criticism of Israel jailing and deporting pro-Palestinian activists.
It's about a coordinated, ongoing campaign to punish, silence, and intimidate anyone who dares to speak out for Palestinian liberation.
Khalil was joined by his lawyers and fellow advocates and supporters, including actors Morgan Spector and Cynthia Nixon, to announce the lawsuit in New York. And the 23andMe genetic testing company is settling a major case brought by 43 state attorneys general. ABC's Mike Dubusky says it'll pay out $18 million to settle a case over a data breach that exposed the personal genetic information of nearly 7 million people.
Much of that data wound up for sale on the dark web, putting people at risk of being hacked or having their identities stolen.
23andMe filed for bankruptcy last year and was eventually sold to a nonprofit created by 23andMe's former CEO. Heading over to the 110 next.
Lasting Smiles Dental Implants. This summer, it is time to transform your smile with the Lasting Smiles Summer Smile Special. If right now, open your mouth wide. What's inside there? Not too many teeth, huh? Not too many teeth that look like teeth. They're rotted, they're damaging, they're discolored, they're broken, decayed. Well, time to look at dental implants. You go to Lasting Smiles to get a free comprehensive dental exam with full 3D imaging, a custom treatment plan. Payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit, $149 a month. Mention KFI or John and take advantage of this summer smile special. LastingSmiles.com. Call 844-GO-SMILE, 844-GO-SMILE, 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI, sunny and even hotter tomorrow. Highs upper 80s and 90s for Metro LA. 102 to 111 in the valleys, 90s to around 107 and windy in the high desert and the IE. Upper 70s to low 80s for the beaches, upper 80s to low 90s inland OC. Right now, 89 in Tustin, 75 Laguna Beach, 94 in Chatsworth, and the same in Van Nuys. The KF5 financial update brought to you by SuperSure, supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed up 10, S&P 500 up 28, NASDAQ up 234. Slow on the 10 in South LA. 110.
This is on that. Angel. It's okay. It's on that northbound side of the 110, and that's where we're seeing some pretty crowded conditions away from Vernon. You're on the brakes all the way to the 5 in Elysian Park on the southbound side of the 110. It crowds up getting away from Stadium Way, heading back all the way to Manchester Avenue, and it's tough in West LA, South 405 from Sunset Boulevard and stretches all the way to Palo Verde and Long Beach. Northbound slowing for the 405 starts out of Culver City from just about Venice Boulevard, delays all the way to Nordoff and North Hills, and a little crowded on approach to that 5 merge into Sylmar. The Cajon Pass 15 northbound, it's becoming crowded away from Kenwood all the way to the 138. And both directions of the 15 are slow moving in Ontario between the 10 and the 60. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Want up to $25,000 in free silver? When you make a qualifying purchase through Golden Crest Metals, you can receive up to $25,000 in real silver added to your account. Call 888-447-7857 now for your free information kit. That's 888-447-7857. Again, call 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offers a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium minted coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped to $25,000 and credited to customer account. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Therapy Thursday is now a podcast. Listen to me, Ellen Kay, Ryan Mano, and therapist Sarah Dash on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcasts. Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival
presented by Capital One
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena. Streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances.
Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com.
Brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Proud partner of the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Get that. This is my song feeling. Only at Metro.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio. The John Kobylt Show. Welcome. We're on from 3 to 6 after 6 o'clock. John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. And if you want to watch us or just watch me, we're live on YouTube. And you can subscribe, become a member, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. But you can watch the show and also participate in the group chat, which is live as well. Everything is live. We've got an election in November, all the statewide offices, and running for attorney general. We spent quite some time last hour talking about the idiot, corrupt sleazebag Rob Bonta, who now wants to block the Paramount Warner Brothers merger as if he knows anything about the entertainment industry. And there are people at Paramount who says, "Oh yeah, we'll just leave the state." He has done very little to go after the corruption in state government, which centered around Newsom's office down the hall, and he's done very little to go after the crime and just all the law breaking that we all deal with every day. But he's always willing to sue Trump, and he's always willing to stick his nose in businesses that he doesn't understand. Well, Michael Gates is running against him. Michael Gates is the former city attorney for Huntington Beach and former Department of Justice in the Trump administration. Let's get Michael on because he's got a big announcement. Welcome, Michael. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. Let's start with the big announcement first, and then we can talk about all sorts of things. You're getting a major endorsement that you're ready to share.
Yes, thank you so much. So we just had a press conference today, a joint press conference with former governor candidate and current sheriff of Riverside County, Chad Bianco. And he announced at that press conference, which was his first public statement since the June primary, by the way, at that press conference, he announced that he's endorsing me for attorney general, which is fantastic. It's awesome. And quite honestly, we are in such a state of lawlessness in California and high crime that it is timely. And I think the people are looking for some solution to what's going on in California. And I think Chad Bianco joining forces with me as the attorney general candidate, as you know, the attorney general is the top cop in the state. And Rob Bonta has been an abject failure. I said at the press conference that he's an enemy of law enforcement. He's an enemy of law and order. He's an enemy of public safety. And so if we can replace him and I can get in there, I will make California safe again. Just know this, that Rob Bonta's California is ranked 6th highest in crime in the nation out of 50 states. according to FBI data on violent crime. And if you look at the 2026 Consumer Affairs report that just came out, actually that report ranks California as the second most dangerous state in the nation out of 50, or 49th in safety. So Rob Bonta's record on fighting crime and keeping us safe is a disaster. He's out there reporting his own self-gathered numbers, a lot of self-reporting going on his end, that crime is down and things are better, but he's living in his own little bubble, his own little universe. He's out of touch with everyday Californians, and we are still suffering in our neighborhoods and in our business districts from violent crime, high violent crime, unacceptable rates, smash and grabs, and the like. So he's out of touch. I'm glad to have Chad Bianco's endorsement, the sheriff's support, and we can win this state because people care about safety. They want to keep their kids safe. They want to keep their neighborhoods safe. They want to keep their business districts and their communities safe. And so when we go out and talk about law and order and public safety and fighting crime and being serious about fighting crime, we can win this election.
Those statistics are stunning, considering how much crime is unreported and how much crime has been reclassified. So it's not a serious crime anymore, or it's just simply wiped off the books.
Right. No, it's shocking, and what I think is it's really, I hope the voters see through this. So Rob Bonta's out there, you know, and if you look at his social media stuff, he's like saying, "Oh, crime's better, it's down this time," or "Violent crime hasn't been better in 10 years than it is now." Yet this is all self-reporting. This is quite literally the person, he's putting together the data. Like you said, there's underreporting, but then his office is also assembling the data and then reporting out on the data. And he is self-reporting. So he's giving himself an A, right? So he's grading his own paper and giving himself an A. But if you look objectively at the FBI data, and like you said, even on the FBI data, there's underreporting. But then the Consumer Affairs Report, 2026 Consumer Affairs Report, which is brand new, says California is the second most dangerous state. That's shocking. Second most dangerous state out of 50 states. So crime is a serious issue, and everyday Californians feel it. They know it. They don't feel safe. There are parts, even in Huntington Beach, where people are saying, like, you know, like after dark, I don't want to go there, or here. Like, it is everywhere. And it's because our top law enforcement officer in the state, Rob Bonta, thinks that fighting crime is a joke. He's not interested. In fact, he thinks criminals are the victims because they only act out because they're a victim of their circumstance or because they're a victim of you and I. So he's got it all backwards, and we're suffering.
Well, just with having tens of thousands of people living in the streets in LA City and county, those people are committing probably a dozen crimes a day because, you know, they're doing drugs openly. They're stealing in order to facilitate their drug purchases. They're threatening, menacing people, if not outright assaulting them. None of that gets reported. And if you do report it, nobody shows up to do anything about it.
Right. And you just, to your point, on a slightly different topic, the waste, fraud, and abuse, $425 billion has amassed over the same 5 years Rob Bonta has been in office since he was appointed in 2021. $425 billion of waste, fraud, and abuse of our taxpayer money. And John, you know this, the state auditor came out with a report a few weeks ago that said our top state officials knew about the waste, fraud, and abuse for years and did nothing about it. So we didn't really need Nick Shirley actually to expose it all and Dr. Oz to expose it all, although we do appreciate the work that they did to introduce this to the public. Rob Bonta and Gavin Newsom actually knew about the waste, fraud, and abuse for years and did nothing about it. So this guy is a bad actor from top to bottom. He's a joke to me. It's hard to even think of him as a lawyer. He's literally went to law school, but he's never stepped foot in a courtroom. He's never taken enforcing the law seriously. He's been a career politician. He was in the legislature for 10 years and then appointed as our attorney general by Newsom in 2021. And he's continued to act as just a pure politician. And unlike me, I spent years. I have tried many multi-million-dollar cases. I reduced crime in Huntington Beach by being tough on crime. Huntington Beach is one of the safest cities in the entire state of California. I have been in the courtroom day in and day out, fighting civil cases, fighting criminal cases, and trying to make California great again from our small pocket, our small corner in Huntington Beach. And yet this guy has skated this entire time for 5 years, not having to do his job or not doing his job and just acting as a politician. It's shocking to me, John, that our leaders in Sacramento, this is the way they are. It's absolutely, I think it's criminal.
I'm glad Chad Bianco's endorsing you because you did run on with Steve Hilton on his golden ticket.
Yeah.
You were aligned with him, and it was nice to see that that Chad is giving you his endorsement because he still has a great loyal following, and that's another surge of votes that'll help you out a lot.
Yes,
well, all right,
absolutely, and he knows how important it is to rescue California right now, so he knows.
Yeah.
He gets it. We're unified and we're fighting through this, and we can win California with the Attorney General's seat. And Chad Bianco made the point at the press conference: the best way to turn California around and return California to a law and order state is to defeat Rob Bonta at the polls and to get me in as the new AG.
All right, Michael Gates, we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Good luck with the campaign. Michael Gates running for Attorney General and got endorsed by Sheriff Chad Bianco today. We've got more coming up. We're going to tell you the story about that woman who saved her husband as he was getting sucked out of that airplane. We talked about this the other day. And she described in detail what went on. And that's, that was a moment of truth. Every marriage has a moment of truth. That's when the husband found out, because she easily could have said, oh, he just slipped. I tried and whoop, there he went. Talk about that when we return. I never sit by the window.
You don't? Oh,
No.
I always sit by the window.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
Look what happens.
I know.
And,
And they have to rethink.
you
I would have been dead.
in a blink. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. The National Weather Service's dangerous heat has intensified and fried across Southern California. The House has passed a bill to make daylight saving time permanent nationwide. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour. We're going to go back to the 405 next.
GiveMeTheVIN.com, where you can sell your car in a hot minute. Try it. Enter your VIN number. You'll get an offer fast at GiveMeTheVIN.com. Their offers beat CarMax and Carvana every day. And if they can't, they'll pay you $100. GiveMeTheVIN.com will get you your check on the spot. Super easy, super fast. GiveMeTheVIN.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
From your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. Back to the 405 in Sherman Oaks.
This is a stall on the northbound side. It's right at Burbank Boulevard, blocking the right lane. And northbound slowing for the 405 starts all the way out of Culver City, getting away from Venice Boulevard. Beyond the stall, the drive remains pretty heavy all the way to Nordoff and North Hills. In Santa Clarita, the 14 northbound, that's loading up, leaving the 5, looking pretty busy all the way to Newhall Avenue. A little crowded ahead once you pass Sand Canyon, and the drive opens up for you once you make your way to Soledad Canyon Road. Very slow moving right now along the 210 freeway. This is out of Pasadena. Delays leaving the 134, and it just gets really dense and slow out of Duarte as you continue towards Azusa. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
I recently opened up a new account at Infinity Bank in the OC. It was the easiest process to switch banks. Call my guy, Victor Guerrero, the president, at 657-223-1000. Infinity Bank.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Angel Reese had 23 points and 13 rebounds to lead the Atlanta Dream past the Los Angeles Sparks 101-92 Monday night. The effort was Reese's WNBA leading 16th double-double of the season. The Sparks remain without the injured Cameron Brink, who missed her 8th straight game, and the hobbled Kelsey Plum, who sat out her 6th straight game. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcast.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
I was standing in line at the grocery store when a little boy looked at me and said, "Mommy, why does that lady have crayon marks on her legs?" He was talking about my varicose veins, and I was mortified. With summer coming, I knew I couldn't keep hiding them, so I called West Medical. They were kind, understanding, and their treatments are quick, effective, and have little to no downtime. Best of all, most PPO insurance plans are accepted. Call 1-800-WEST-MED for your free, no-obligation consultation, or visit westmedical.com.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. Learn how podcasting can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
Commercial contractors. If you're looking to build for the future with the best business management platform, you're looking for ServiceTitan. With over 200 commercial-specific features and 70-plus integrations, commercial contractors using ServiceTitan typically see a 16% higher annual growth in revenue and a 21% higher renewal rate. When you're looking to build your legacy on a strong foundation, look to ServiceTitan. Learn more at servicetitan.com/commercial. That's servicetitan.com/commercial. Results are not guaranteed and may vary.
With Norwegian Cruise Line, you don't have to choose whale watching and spa days, family time, and time for yourself. Book your Mexican Riviera cruise sailing from LA or San Diego. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE.
A champion will be crowned.
That is a wondrous goal!
And every remaining goal,
Magical!
And save,
What a save! Unbelievable stuff!
can be heard for free on the iHeartRadio app thanks to Fox Sports.
What a moment in the tournament!
All the drama.
Spain will play in the FIFA World Cup final.
One champion.
The referee blows the full-time whistle.
Don't miss a moment. Download the free iHeartRadio app now.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup update.
Spain is heading to the World Cup final after beating France 2-0 this afternoon. Pedro Porro scored in the 58th minute to double Spain's lead.
The return, Pedro Porro!
Spain has outscored their opponents 13-1 in the tournament so far. They'll face the winner of Argentina and England in the final.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
On the next Bill Handel Show, are you a fan of the new Meta smart glasses? No, they're not going to make you smarter. Well, privacy advocates are up in arms over invasion of privacy concerns, and that's coming up tomorrow morning after 7 on the next Bill Handel Show.
$1,000 giveaway.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, RICH. That's RICH. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash.
KFI. I don't know why that cracks me. What was I going to do here? Oh, yes, the keyword. That's what you're looking for. Rich. Rich is the keyword. Enter it at KFIAM640.com/cash. And if you win, you get an email. Check your junk and spam folder. And there's a new winning keyword every hour, every weekday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And at 5:20, we'll have the next one here on KFI. That'll be the last one of the day. This story, you probably heard. We touched on it yesterday, but there's more information coming out about it. Have you ever taken Ryanair, especially traveling through Europe?
I have.
What did you think of Ryanair?
It's very small plane, but it was okay.
Mine was not okay.
Oh.
I took Ryanair once from Barcelona to Morocco, or the other way around. Ooh. The cabin was dirty, smelly, and there were people from indeterminate cultures who were very noisy and loud, wearing bizarre clothing.
Sean!
And I'm not insulting anybody by specifically, but it was just hot.
They
and
may
dirty
look at
and,
you and have opinions.
And I don't know. There's some cooking aromas going on. There might have been people cooking in the plane.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's just anyway. He's in a Ryanair plane. This guy and his wife. The guy's in the window seat, and suddenly the window blows out, and they're 20,000 feet in the air. And she instantly grabbed his legs. And now she's explaining the story of what went on, right? Because she held on to him so tightly because he was like flapping in the wind.
That's a nice wife.
That's a nice wife. Her name is Ljubica Karovic, 61 years old. She's from Serbia. And the window was shattered by engine debris. I guess something got processed through the engine, maybe birds. And it was just 30 minutes into the flight. That's why they weren't higher up, because, at 40,000 feet, where a lot of planes fly, there's virtually no air up there. They had just taken off from Greece, and the pressure, actually, the guy's name is Ljubica Karovic, and the pressure pulled Ljubica, and his wife's name is Svetlana. And she said, luckily he was strapped in, but half his body was sticking out of the plane. I reacted immediately and grabbed his legs. And here's that's our Svetlana.
That is.
And this is the sweetest thing. She said, I thought if we die together. Yes.
Oh, that is very sweet.
I'm not sure I'd get that treatment.
I don't think you would.
I have a feeling.
Bye.
Yes.
I'm glad you updated the life insurance policies.
Yeah, that's what I hear several times a year. She goes, look, I paid all the insurance policies, so see you later. She said her husband lost consciousness several times. Oh. She and a fellow traveler held his legs together as the plane was diverted back to where it had taken off from. So he had to stay hanging out the window for a while. I can't
imagine. I seriously.
Can you?
No, I can't.
You're 20,000 feet in the air. Now it's going to turn around and try to land again. And that's your view. You see the runway coming closer and closer and closer. You're flapping in the wind. And Serbian people are tough, though.
Yes.
That's not that far from Poland. This is a tough crowd.
I'm never sitting by a window again.
He was left seriously injured and in shock. Yeah, I bet. His hand is particularly badly injured. He's got burns. He's not able to communicate. Yeah, he's probably not going to talk. He's not going to talk for a while. And he doesn't remember the whole event.
Oh, well, that's good.
But it's important that he's alive. Karovic had blood on his head and kept passing out, according to one witnesses. Apparently one of the protective pods in the engine, I don't know what that is, shredded. And there was an engine blade missing. So I guess a piece of the engine got loose, got into the rotors, and one of the blades broke. And I hit the window shatters. And all the other passengers thought the plane was going to crash because the oxygen masks all came down. And Ryanair says the window did dislodge in flight. Dislodge.
I'm impressed that another passenger helped the wife because he put himself in danger.
Yeah.
I mean, that was heroic.
Yeah, because they all could have been.
Yes, all could have flown out of the window.
But what was that story a few years ago, right? With a Boeing?
Yeah, I don't remember the details of that, though.
Didn't one guy actually get sucked out, or he came close to getting sucked out?
I'd have to Google it.
See, I never used to think that was possible.
I know.
But apparently it is. No, I don't sit next to windows. And actually, it's not because I'm afraid of being sucked out. It's because I don't want to climb over people when I want to go to the restroom. Because you know how overfed people are, right? And they're leaning back and they're snoring, and I don't want to have to poke their folds and try to wake them up. It takes them a long time to get up and hoist themselves up and squeeze out. It's like, I'll just take the aisle. It's just so foul being on planes with people. I would love to fly if I didn't have to.
You would? Oh, I absolutely hate flying.
Huh? Well, I mean, if the planes were completely empty, it would be great.
I'm terrified of flying. Forget the weirdos on the plane.
Well, now you got another thing to be scared of. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour news.
The National Weather Service's dangerous heat has intensified across Southern California today as temperatures climb toward their highest levels of the year. Forecasters say widespread triple-digit conditions will grip much of the region through Thursday. They say lingering monsoonal moisture will make things more humid And there's a 20 to 40% chance of showers or thunderstorms in the mountains and the Antelope Valley. A red flag warning of critical fire danger conditions goes into effect at noon tomorrow through 9 a.m. Thursday for the I-5 corridor. The news is brought to you by Pacific Coast Termite. LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath has introduced a motion calling for the county to support a lawsuit filed by California and 11 other states looking to block the proposed takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery by Paramount Skydance. She says the county's economic analysis shows the merger could put thousands of local jobs at risk. Horvath says the county has a responsibility to help make the case against the merger by providing the facts, supporting Attorney General Bonta's litigation, and standing up for the workers, small businesses, and communities that depend on this industry. The House has passed a bill to make daylight saving time permanent nationwide. Speaker Pro Tem Congressman Scott DeJarle played the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun as he announced the final vote tally.
On the vote, the yeas are 308, the nays are 117. The bill is passed.
Under the legislation, states would have the opportunity to opt out. The bill now goes to the Senate. New York has enacted the country's first statewide moratorium on data centers. Governor Kathy Hochul has signed an executive order putting a one-year pause on construction for hyperscale centers, some with thousands of computers that use 50 megawatts or more and would need a steady water supply to cool off the facility.
We came up with a threshold of 50 megawatts as defining the larger ones. Those smaller are not affected. But again, I want to get this right. And I know there's a lot of anxiety around AI overall.
In addition to power issues and depleted water supplies, data centers have been blamed for noise pollution. And billionaire Warren Buffett has left the Bill Gates Foundation out of his annual donations this year because of the Microsoft co-founder's ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Buffett will donate about $6 billion to 4 foundations connected to his family. He also says in a statement he wants all his remaining Berkshire Hathaway stock, worth nearly $146 billion, donated to charity by the end of 2034. Heading over to the 405 next.
Spam text messages, deceptive emails, they're not good. Scammers text and email when they get your info. They buy it from data brokers. Tell those data brokers to stop. Well, there's a company that does that for you, and I use it, Incogni, and it works. Incogni is I-N-C-O-G-N-I, I-N-C-O-G-N-I, online service that puts hundreds of data brokers on notice to stop. And I used Incogni for just that purpose. And already they've removed data, get this, from 324 data brokers, 324, and they're still on it. So my data is not online, not even close like it once was. You'll have the same experience. Less spam texts, less scam emails, more online privacy. I'm getting far fewer scam phone calls. Incogni.com/KFI. Go there. You'll save 60%. Incogni.com/KFI. If they can't find you, they can't scam you. Incogni.com/KFI.
Southline weather from KFI. It's going to be sunny and even hotter tomorrow. Highs upper 80s and 90s for Metro LA, 102 to 111 in the valleys, 90s to around 107 and windy in the high desert and the IE, upper 70s to low 80s for the beaches, upper 80s to low 90s inland OC. Right now, 87 in San Juan Capistrano and 88 in Staten. It's slow on the 405 in West LA.
So we're going to start on the southbound side of that 405, and it loads up leaving Santa Monica Boulevard. Delays continue and stretches all the way to Palo Verde and Long Beach. The northbound side of the 405, that's slow through Long Beach between Lakewood Boulevard and the 710. And then more delays out of Culver City from Venice Boulevard all the way into Sherman Oaks. And it looks like there's a crash reported just past Burbank Boulevard. Kind of low on details. Let me see what I can find out quickly. Looks like they're clearing this crash out of lanes. 3 right lanes affected right now. So it's really messing up the drive all the way into the Sepulveda Pass. With Southern
Everything you need to find your perfect Toyota is right at your fingertips at Toyota.com. Explore our full lineup of vehicles. Compare features side by side. Search our available inventory. You can even find the best local offers. Everything you need is just a few clicks away on Toyota.com. So for your next Toyota car, truck, or SUV, just visit Toyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Worried about inflation, market volatility, or the weakening dollar? More Americans are turning to physical gold and silver to help diversify their retirement savings. Right now, receive up to $25,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. Call 888-447-7857 now to speak with a gold specialist. That's 888-447-7857. Again, call 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offers a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium mint coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped to $25,000 and credited to customer accounts. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
OPL Law, your advocates and your voice when you need it most. OPLLaw.com.
This summer on iHeartRadio, win a trip to see Bryan Adams roll with the Punches Tour live in Milwaukee, August 16th.
Hey, this is Bryan Adams inviting you to come and see me live in concert.
Round trip air for two with hotel and more. Prize provided by Bryan Adams.
It's VIP with Q&A, an autographed album, merch, and all that good stuff.
Tap the contest tab while you're listening to us on the free iHeartRadio app for your chance to win.
So roll with the punches on the iHeartRadio app to enter.
AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's the John Kobylt Show, and we're on from 3 to 6 after 6 o'clock. John Kobylt Show on demand. That's the podcast, and that's where you listen to what you missed. We're live on YouTube right now. You can subscribe, become a member. You go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show, and you could watch right now and participate in the rolling chat on the side of the screen. Yesterday, there's new information on the Boyle Heights situation, and it's not good information. You are seeing again in real time, just like with the Palisades fire, just how utterly incompetent all the departments, all levels of government are. When an emergency, a terrible emergency happens, and there's nobody to turn to. Nobody does their job correctly or quickly, and nobody cares. And let's start by playing the worst mayor in Los Angeles history, worst mayor in the United States, stupidest politician you'll find. Karen Bass, as she gets introduced at a Boyle Heights town hall meeting last week.
All right, now we are going to go ahead and have Mayor Karen Bass come to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate everybody for being here today.
Stop. I can't take the sound of her voice. Neither could they. What's with the smattering of applause? What are they applauding exactly? Well, here's why people booed so loudly and longly. Thank you, everyone. Okay, good response. There's still millions of tons of rotted food there. Now, this is 500,000 square feet, this warehouse, this refrigeration warehouse. This is from the LA Times, which, remember, endorsed her twice for mayor in the primary and the general election over Rick Caruso. Well, the Times is now reporting that rancid odors have attracted, you were asking about this, throngs of rats, swarms of flies. And here's something new. A foul-smelling brownish liquid is pouring from the seams of the building. Obviously, they don't know what that is. It's pouring.
That is...
from the seam. Foul-smelling brownish liquid.
Well, it's poop. It has to be.
Residents are are expecting the odor to get worse with the heat wave, and it's going to be perhaps 100 degrees. And the residents are calling air quality regulators to complain. Now, shouldn't they have been there within the first hour of the fire? Because the air quality was disgusting when all the smoke was in the air. And it's still disgusting. I mentioned Sunday afternoon, we were driving back from the lake, and we went down the 10, and it was overwhelming, the rancid stink. So what are the air quality people doing? Environmental groups are accusing the company Lineage and emergency responders of downplaying the risks posed by the chemicals, with Bass famously saying the air is not dangerous. Now, today, Senator Alex Padilla, last seen on his stomach after security threw him to the ground during the illegal alien riots, he was seen waddling to the warehouse along with Jamie Moore. He's the guy who covered up the investigation into the Palisades fire. Also, the duds from the South Coast Air Quality Management District and other environmental organizations. Well, what are they standing around saying? It smells really bad here. Time for lunch. Adam Schiff showed up. What's he going to do? And Padilla and Schiff, I don't know if Schiff showed up. Oh, I see. Padilla and Schiff and a Congressman, Jimmy Gomez, they wrote a letter to the EPA. Well, that'll get rid of the odor. Oh, what did you do, Senator? I wrote a letter. And they're asking that the EPA come back to the cleanup zone. Why'd they leave? They left? And
because
now
it wasn't dangerous.
By the way, do these guys aware of the telephone? Everybody's carrying phones in their pockets. Actually, most people are carrying them in their hands. Probably, if you looked online, you could get a phone number for the EPA real fast. And you think Schiff and Padilla would know somebody, right? They want the EPA to return to the cleanup zone to monitor the air and water quality so nobody is. That thing is stinking for 10 miles. The letter says we're concerned about the long-term health and environmental impacts.
Did they tell Mayor Bass that?
Apparently, she didn't tell them that it's not dangerous.
It's not dangerous. So everybody's scared for nothing.
Yeah. John Liu is president of the Coalition for Clean Air, and he told Padilla that he's heard of people becoming sick in the weeks after the event.
Yeah, but a lot of people went to the ER when you were gone. That's something, John, that happened when you were gone. A lot of people went to the ER in Boyle Heights.
Yeah, because this is like unknown, toxic, heavy metal smoke and all kinds of ammonia and arsenic. I mean, we went through the whole list yesterday. And Lou said, I think that pointed to a problem with the messaging when the event first happened. The messaging. Oh, is that the problem? Yeah, I guess Bass's declaration that it's not dangerous, that's a messaging problem. No, that's a stupidity problem. That's a lack of intelligence. That's a low IQ problem. It wasn't consistent with if you smell smoke and see ash to get out and protect yourself. Look, we've gone through this twice now. Actually, 3 times. Palisades, the Altadena fire, and now this. You are on your own. When you have a bad fire and there's all the smoke and the ash and the stink, get in your car and drive as quickly as you can, as far as you can. And max out the credit cards. Whatever you have to do, pitch a tent, get out of there. Get out and stay out for a while, because these government officials are too stupid to live. Do not believe anything they say. You have to ask the EPA to come back. You do, huh? And they show up at the warehouse and they're standing there and go, oh, that's pretty bad, Ralph, isn't it? Whoa, that smells like 85 million pounds of rotted food. Why are they so dumb? Now, somebody had an idea here. A community group called Protect LA Now says this has been going on almost a month, and officials have refused to issue a mandatory evacuation. Now, you don't need the government to tell you to evacuate, but if they issued an official mandatory evacuation, you can get money to cover your expenses, because right now everybody's got to pay their own way out. So the people who can't afford to are trapped in, as they say, the gases and the toxins that no agency will name. So Wacom, Bass, or the county supervisors or Newsom hasn't declared some kind of mandatory evacuation so that these people are eligible for reimbursement so they can get to a hotel somewhere. They're asking Newsom to declare a mandatory evacuation. Not only Bass get booed, but according to this story, the crowd got louder when the Lineage chief operating officer, Jeff Rivera, took to the stage, and everybody started shouting, "Liar! Liar!" And of course, Lineage hired Karen Bass's top advisor to handle the PR. I mean, she had a PR advisor named Yusef Robb. The guy left Bass's office and signed up with Lineage, and then he was caught, and now he left Lineage. And his job, of course, was to keep Bass's name out of the story. Hey, but I am sure Boyle Heights, I mean, I'm not going to be cruel here and look up what the actual voting numbers were, but I bet you that was like 80% Bass territory. So you vote for that. That's what you get. I tell you, she's showing a lot more interest in the Boyle Heights fire than she ever did in Palisades. In fact, Spencer Pratt wrote something about that. I should read that. He posted it online. He noticed the difference in her energy, or at least the fake energy. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. The LA Board of Police Commissioners signs off on an LAPD decision to stop using automated license plate reader cameras for now. And the Writers Guild of America is now suing the proposed merger of Paramount Skydance and Warner Brothers Discovery. We'll have more at the top of the hour. We're going to go back to the 405 next.
GiveMeTheVIN.com. You can sell your car in a hot minute. You ought to try it. Enter your VIN number. Get an offer fast at GiveMeTheVIN.com. Their offers beat CarMax and Carvana offers every day. And if they can't, they're going to pay you $100. GiveMeTheVIN.com will get your check on the spot. We'll get you your check on the spot. Super easy, super fast. GiveMeTheVIN.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Southland weather from KFI, sunny and hotter tomorrow. Highs ranging from the upper 70s to around 111. This report brought to you by Albertsons and Vons. From your Toyota dealers traffic center, we make it easy. Back to the 405 in Sherman Oaks.
So things just got a little worse here on that northbound side of the 405. Coming up on Burbank Boulevard, this is a wreck involving a bunch of cars. One of them flipped over. First, Highway Patrol said, oh, yeah, we're blocking 3 right lanes. And then we've got all lanes blocked. So it does not appear that any lanes are getting through. They might let a few cars through here and there. If you are in the backup, pound 250, keyword KFI traffic, and delays are just stopping up right now from Skirball Center, overall slowing all the way out of Culver City, getting away from Venice Boulevard. We're also looking at the 101 northbound out of Hollywood is slow from Sunset Boulevard and stretches all the way to White Oak in Encino with Southern California's most accurate traffic reports. I'm Angel Martinez.
I was standing in line at the grocery store when a little boy looked at me and said, Mommy, why does that lady have crayon marks on her legs? He was talking about my varicose veins and I was mortified. With summer coming, I knew I couldn't keep hiding them, so I called West Medical. They were kind, understanding, and their treatments are quick, effective, and have little to no downtime. Best of all, most PPO insurance plans are accepted. Call 1-800-WEST-MED for your free, no-obligation consultation or visit westmedical.com.
Feel incredible.
This week at Vons and Albertsons, Signature Select Whole Chicken, Bone-In, Thighs, or Drumsticks. Value Pack are 99 cents per pound with membership where applicable. And Personal Seedless Watermelons are $1.99 each with digital coupon on Vons or Albertsons.com. This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
I recently opened up a new bank account at Infinity Bank based in Orange County. And it was by far the easiest process to switch my banking needs to them. Victor Guerrero is the president at Infinity Bank. He's a great guy, and he'll talk to you anytime, any day. You can call today at 657-223-1000. And they'll do everything to make you satisfied. Excellent customer service. And they succeed at delivering value to you. They will not nickel and dime you on any fees. If you're interested in switching to a new bank, call my guy, Victor. He's the president at Infinity Bank. And here's his number, 657-223-1000. Or go online at Infinity Bank, member FDIC.
Termites are one of those things we tend to put off. E. coli is here to protect your most expensive investment, your home, your family, and the environment. You might have heard of Sue Freeze, the termite lady. She's the owner of E. coli Termite and Pest Control. Now, they've been protecting Southern California homes for more than 40 years. So if you have a termite problem, that's who you want in your corner. E. coli offers eco-friendly treatments that are tough on termites, but gentle on kids, pets, and anyone who's sensitive to chemicals. And if you're not planning on selling your house, they'll come out and inspect your home for free. And with all the heat we've had over this last month here in Southern California, it's perfect breeding grounds for termites. E. coli has been recognized as one of the top pest control companies in North America by Pest Control Technology magazine. So if you suspect a termite problem, you must act fast. So call E. coli at 1-800-332-BUGS. 1-800-332-2847. 1-800-332-BUGS.
Dive in Saturdays at Oasis Pool. It's just like going to the movies, except the floor's a lot wetter. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Grab a daybed or cabana for SoCal's best outdoor movie theater. Dive-in movie night at Oasis Pool every Saturday.
Number 4.
The biggest soccer watch party of the year is at Sideline Sports Bar the 19th. Great prizes, food, and meet the players from Av Alta.
3.
iZod Gift Giveaway. A classic, timeless iZod saddleback is yours when you earn 500 points on your rewards card the 21st.
And the number 2.
Cielo. Celebrate whatever at Wine Spectator's award-winning fine dining steakhouse.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away a Chevy Silverado truck. Earn entries now, and you could drive off a winner the 26th.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good time.
Hi, this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
You know what your customers are doing right this second? The exact same thing you are, listening to me. Which, let's be honest, is kind of flattering. But my point is, ads on iHeartRadio actually get heard. In the car, at the gym, on the couch, while people are walking their dogs. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. That's right. You're a good boy. So why not make the next ad about you? Get started today. Call 844-844-iHeart or go to iHeartAdvertising.com. That's 844-844-iHeart or iHeartAdvertising.com.
The president has said, and this is a quote, they want to take out the U.S. leader, me.
Bill Handel.
The issue here, though, is are the Iranians really emphasizing taking out this president more so than other presidents? I think, yeah.
Tomorrow morning at 6 on KFI AM 640.
What Donald Trump does is make things very personal.
This is KFI.
And he takes things very personal.
More stimulating talk.
A thriller in the extreme.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every remaining match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
All the way up to the final, July 19th. The games are live
And for free, just download the iHeartRadio app now. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show, Moist Line for Friday, 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86. Use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. We were just looking at an LA Times report on how, and I think on TV today, they showed Alex Padilla and the fire chief and bureaucratic heads from the Air Quality Management District all standing and staring at the warehouse where this horrible odor is hanging in the air for miles. And now they have armies of rats, huge swarms of flies, some foul-smelling brown liquid pouring from the building. People are getting sick. Most people in that immediate neighborhood don't have a lot of money, and they can't afford to get out, so they're just inhaling all this filth now for several weeks. And Spencer Pratt, he posted a video of Bass, actively involved in the scene, and Pratt wrote, "Nobody died, nobody lost their home, yet she's more engaged here than she was at any time in the last 18 months in the Palisades, where a dozen people died, and there's been an excess of 400 plus deaths afterwards, 6,000 homes plus burned up. Why is that? Why is she more engaged in Boyle Heights than the Palisades?" Well, he knows the answer to that. We've talked about it. It was richer white people that lost their homes and died, and she doesn't feel any connection there. She's constantly pandered to Hispanics, but they are finding out now that was phony as well. She got really worked up over, the illegal alien ICE situation. But now you have people, many of them legal residents, who find it very difficult to live in their homes. They find it difficult to breathe, not to mention their children, their pets. I haven't seen her standing up and saying she should be demanding that the governor declare a mandatory evacuation zone. And then, according to what I'm reading in the Times, the residents there would then have access for reimbursements to move out of town. Now, she's not leading that charge in any way. She's doing all this performative stuff for the cameras. And of course, nobody in the media is holding her to anything beyond that. But really, maybe she has no juice. Maybe everybody in government thinks she's a joke. They would be correct. But still, Newsom absolutely should have declared this an evacuation zone, because the people had nothing to do. And they couldn't see this one coming. I mean, in the Palisades, you had the fire warnings that Bass ignored when she flew to Africa. But here, there's no warning for something like this. And there's something wrong with that Lineage company. You don't get two of these in 2 years. They had one in Washington State, and it burned for 60 days. Same thing. So there's something wrong in the company there. And there's something wrong with Bass's PR guru quitting her office and moving to Lineage. And the only reason he left Lineage is because the reporters caught him. So I think she's walking around shouting and waving her arms in the air, but maybe she's too tied to Lineage. Maybe she doesn't really care. It may look like she favors Hispanic residents over the Palisades residents, but I don't think she cares about the Hispanic residents, because they should have had them mandatorily evacuated immediately. I mean, there should have been some kind of an emergency fund using city tax money to give these people some temporary shelter, pay for some hotels. But she's done nothing. Nobody's done anything. But everybody's standing around today for the TV cameras. All right. More coming up. Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
No relief. I'm Deborah Mark live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The LA County Department of Public Health is urging people to take precautions to protect themselves from this heat. Extreme heat warnings and heat advisories issued by the National Weather Service will be in effect through Thursday for most of the county's inland valleys, mountains, and desert communities, as well as the coastal areas. County Health Officer Dr. Moontu Davis says heat causes more death in the U.S. every year than floods, storms, and lightning combined. The news is brought to you by Sellers Advantage. LA Mayor Bass and LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger have written to congressional leaders asking for almost $16 billion in federal funding for the region's long-term recovery from the Palisades and Eaton fires. Bass says from LA to Sacramento to Washington, she and Barger have worked together to fight for the resources that wildfire survivors need and deserve, and they won't stop until every family has returned home and every business has reopened its doors. Barger says her focus is on ensuring communities have the federal resources necessary to rebuild stronger. Total value of property in LA County has hit a record for 16 consecutive years.
The county assessor says despite the wildfires in Pacific Palisades and Altadena and the slowing real estate market, the county has hit more than $2.25 trillion in value. Officials say the increase means more than $27 billion in property tax revenue for public services, including schools, safety, and healthcare. More than half of the $96 billion increase over the last year came from property transfers. The median home sales price in LA County climbed to $982,000. And the cities with the biggest growth in value were Irwindale, Vernon, and Hidden Hills. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
The LA Board of Police Commissioners has signed off on an LAPD decision to stop using automated license plate reader cameras until the city gets more public input. The LAPD said last Saturday that its contract with surveillance technology company Flock Safety had expired, but they are working on a new agreement. The Office of the Inspector General is recommending the department beef up data security and privacy protections for the cameras, which are put up on poles. The WGA has joined the fight against a huge media merger.
The Writers Guild of America is suing to block the proposed merger of Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Brothers Discovery. The union says the massive deal violates federal antitrust law and would cause harm to writers by reducing opportunity and lower pay. The announcement comes just one day after California and 11 other states sued to block the proposed takeover. Deadline reports it's notable the Guild filed its own lawsuit instead of joining the states because the WGA complaint focuses more directly on the labor impacts the merger would have on writing services of Guild members. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
Ridership on Metro's bus and rail system surged by 2 million people last month compared to the previous year, driven by the World Cup and other special events. Rail ridership was up nearly 22%, while the number of bus riders increased nearly 7%. Trump administration border czar Tom Homan says a temporary pause in ICE traffic stops won't mean there will be fewer immigration arrests. The Department of Homeland Security is pausing traffic stops after ICE agents shot and killed 2 people in the last week. Homan says DHS wants to make sure ICE officers have what they need to stay safe during vehicle stops.
I'm confident they're going to get back to their policy vehicle stops, but they're doing, what they believe is necessary short-term pause just to look at it and make sure everything's good.
A third death happened today when a man running away from immigration and other federal agents in Florida was hit and killed by a semi-trailer. We're going to go back to the 405 next.
Lasting Smiles dental implants, and you need one of those. You need a dental implant. If your smile is all rotted out, teeth are damaged, decayed, missing, discolored, that's not a smile. Well, look for dental implants. Lasting Smiles has this deal: a free comprehensive dental exam with full 3D imaging, a custom treatment plan, and payments as low as $149 a month on approved credit. And you get this because you listen here. You mention KFI or John, and you'll get the Summer Smile Special at Lasting Smiles, lastingsmiles.com. Call 844-GO-SMILE, 844-GO-SMILE, 844-GO-SMILE.
Southland weather from KFI, sunny and hotter tomorrow. We're looking at highs in the upper 80s and 90s for Metro LA, 102 to 111 in the valleys, 90s to around 107 and windy in the high desert and the IE, upper 70s to low 80s for the beaches. Upper 80s to low 90s for inland OC. Right now, 78 in Dana Point. It's 89 in Anaheim, 91 in Diamond Bar, and 89 in Simi Valley. The KFI Financial Update brought to you by SuperSure. SuperSure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed up 10, S&P 500 up 28, and NASDAQ up 234. We have an update on the 405 in Sherman Oaks. The
This crash on the northbound side before Burbank Boulevard had all lanes blocked off for some time. Now it's just the carpool lane that's open for business, and big delays still loading up all the way out of Culver City, getting away from Venice Boulevard. If you see something different, pound 250, keyword KFI traffic. Also, that 101 northbound loading up out of Hollywood away from Santa Monica Boulevard. Delays and stretches all the way to White Oak in Encino. Let's look at the drive on the 91. This is eastbound out of Carson. Delays from Avalon, you're on and off the brakes all the way to Green River in Corona. Both sides of the 15 in Ontario crowded between the 60 and the 10. The Cajon Pass 15 northbound loads up at the 215 merge, looking pretty heavy ahead to Cleghorn. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that there are lots of things that can make your engine light come on, besides your engine. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's technicians are specially trained to diagnose what's causing your engine light to come on and fix it, no matter what it is. Keep your eyes on the road and your ears open for another episode of AMCO's Bet You Didn't Know.
AA, MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. See AMCO.com for complete details.
AMCO, with over 40 centers serving Southern California.
All right, let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until renewal. Well, your business runs all year round, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I'm introducing SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, HR manager, it can be really complex just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts, which actually translates your current policy into plain English so you know what's covered and what's not. Plus, they have a business value calculator so you can get an idea of what your business is worth so you actually know what you need to protect it. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. It's the John Kobylt Show, and we are on from 3 to 6. After 6 o'clock, you know what to do. You miss stuff, you go to John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app, and you follow us on social media, John Kobylt Radio, and on YouTube. We're on YouTube Live, so go watch, subscribe, and also you can become a member at youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. All right. Another day, and there's more and more of these cyclosporiasis cases. You've been reading this thing. How do you pronounce
Cyclosporiasis.
Sporiasis. That is correct. Now that I look closer. Cyclosporiasis. They are now saying that there's, just in Michigan, there's 3,000 cases. And 34 states have reported tens to hundreds of cases this summer, with the center being in Michigan. In California, there's been 41 cases. They don't think it's linked. I guess this is possible anywhere. It primarily seems to be from lettuce.
Yeah, I'm not having salad for a while.
And doesn't take much to spook you.
Okay, I don't want explosive diarrhea. Thank you very much.
You get the illness by consuming food or water contaminated with the feces of an infected person that had the parasite. I guess somebody on the farm had little worms wiggling around there. That's a lot of lettuce that's being tainted. And as we discussed yesterday, explosive watery diarrhea.
Not to mention the vomiting and the nausea, the fever.
Right. And, if you don't replenish the fluids, it could kill you. So the update is, this is from Fox LA. They're looking at lettuce and salad greens, and they're focusing on Taco Bell locations in Michigan. Federal and state health investigations into whether Taco Bell restaurants may have contributed to the outbreak.
Wait, you mean to tell me Taco Bell contributed to a diarrhea outbreak? I'm shocked.
I am too. It's pretty stunning. Taco Bell has been notifying customers that at some of the locations in the Detroit area, they could not serve lettuce, cilantro, onions, pico de gallo, or guacamole.
Pico de gallo.
I don't eat that stuff. I don't know. Pico de gallo?
Yes.
That's that.
It's almost like a salsa, but it's chunky. Imagine just chunky bits of tomato and
I don't eat
cilantro. It's delicious.
Well, yeah, it's delicious.
Well, I'm not going to have that.
They're not
for a
serving
while.
it in Detroit right now. Guacamole.
Wait, what?
Taco Bell is not serving guacamole. They're calling it a national recall. Taco Bell Corporation said, here's the quote. You could probably sing along with this. The health and safety of our guests is our top priority. And Taco Bell is voluntarily and temporarily removing limited ingredients as a precautionary measure at selected restaurants. They have not announced a recall involving Taco Bell, and there's no public notice yet, but Taco Bell is on its own to say, well, maybe we'll take the lettuce back for a while, see what happens. Certain results, according to the Michigan Department of Health, point to lettuce or salad greens as a potential source. And in the past, fresh produce has been linked to cyclospora outbreaks. Cyclospora is the bacteria. Bagged salad, cilantro, basil, raspberries, snow peas, green onions, watery explosive diarrhea.
I have some raspberries in the fridge,
You
and
do?
I haven't opened them yet.
You have the whole watery diarrhea menu. Yeah, and it's farm workers probably.
Usually,
Yeah,
that's what it turns out.
yeah, pooping in the fields, or maybe some workers at the plant not washing their hands. And now there's people running in a panic to restrooms all over the country, especially in Michigan.
I thought about that. What if that happened to us and we're on the air? You look over, Deborah Mark has the news. Oh, where is she?
Deborah Mark doesn't have the news. Those are the days I miss Ken, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have nobody here. What am I going to do?
We used to cover for each other all the time. If ever, after a commercial break, you just heard one of us and not the other.
I remember.
Hey, where's the other guy? Well, the other guy had some bad lettuce. All right. Well, when we come back, we've got diaper issues. Gavin Newsom has nothing to do with this watery diarrhea outbreak. Do you remember his diaper contract that he announced with great fanfare and press conferences? They had decided they were going to spend millions of dollars of your tax money to hand out diapers to new moms, but it was tied up with a nonprofit the new nonprofit was run by one of Jennifer Newsom's best friends, so it was kind of a scandal. Well, California hasn't released the contract yet. And at the same time, the legislature is looking at a law which would keep public records secret even longer. So something stinks really bad here. It's not just the diapers. So we're going to tell you about this scandal involving Newsom, his grifter wife, and their friends, and your tax money, and a load of expensive diapers. These diapers are significantly more expensive than the normal ones you'd buy at a big box store. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. LA Mayor Bass and Supervisor Barger are hoping for more fire relief funding. And a guy running away from immigration and other federal agents in Florida has been hit and killed by a big rig. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, going to the 101 next.
They say time heals all wounds. The accident attorneys at Sweet James know that's only partly true. When you're hurt in an accident, you should know the legal system is rigged. You need someone who knows that system inside and out with the level of experience and care to fight for you when the billion-dollar insurance companies will not help. Don't fight alone. Your attorneys at Sweet James will walk beside you and tell your story and make them listen. They'll deliver results that send the insurance companies a message, help you get the maximum compensation and justice that you deserve. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, call your accident attorneys at Sweet James. You will pay no costs or fees until they win. With an office in L.A., you call 800-9-million, 800-9-million, 800-9-000-000, sweetjames.com.
Southline weather from KFI. It's going to be sunny and hotter tomorrow. Highs ranging from the upper 70s to around 111. This report brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. From your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. Crash on the 101 in Studio City.
This one's reported on the southbound side coming up on the 134. That's where a couple of cars got into it, initially landed in middle lanes, and the delays that I'm seeing right now are starting to really back up. You're on the brakes getting away from Laurel Canyon, starting to get pretty close to Coldwater Canyon, and beyond as you make your way onto the 134. The drive opens up a bit. You're on the brakes ahead, leaving Bob Hope on and off all the way to Pacific in Glendale, where they're clearing a wreck out of lanes. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
I recently opened a new account at Infinity Bank based here in the OC. It was by far the easiest process to switch all my banking to them. Victor Guerrero is president at Infinity Bank, and they will talk to you anytime, any day. You call today at 657-223-1000, and they'll do everything at Infinity Bank to make you satisfied with excellent customer service. They succeed in delivering value to you. They will not nickel and dime you on any of the fees. If you're interested in switching to a new bank, call my guy Victor. He's the president at Infinity Bank, 657-223-1000. Online at infinity.bank. Member FDIC.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This report is sponsored by Albertsons and Vons. This week at Vons and Albertsons, signature select whole chicken, bone-in, thighs, or drumsticks. Value pack are 99 cents per pound with membership where applicable. And personal seedless watermelons are $1.99 each with digital coupon on Vons or Albertsons.com.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Here's a question for all the plumbing, HVAC, and electrical contractor owners out there. From your future friends at Service Titan. Are you using 4, 5, 6, or more software solutions to run your commercial contracting business? Not one of which truly understands the unique challenges of your industry? If this hits close to home, we have good news. There's a better way to do things. Service Titan is the all-in-one software solution that seamlessly integrates all parts of your commercial service and construction operation. From service agreements to proposal builders to project tracking, job costing, inventory, and more. Developed specifically for the trades, Service Titan can help you scale effortlessly and operate more efficiently while delivering the modern user experience your customers expect. Forget using and, more importantly, paying for multiple software products that don't play nice with each other and give you an incomplete view of profitability. Service Titan is the better way to do business. Schedule a demo today at servicetitan.com. That's servicetitan.com.
Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Jungle backdrops and sunset dinners. With Norwegian Cruise Line, you don't have to choose. Book your Mexican Riviera cruise at ncl.com.
Take action for your retirement. Call Golden Crest Metals, 888-447-7857.
As America marks its 250th anniversary, we're looking back at 2.5 centuries of rebellion and liberty through the eyes of the heroes who defended it.
The whole thing about this country is freedom. If we're not careful, we could lose that.
On Medal of Honor, Stories of Courage, we bring you the defining moments of valor that went above and beyond the call of duty. Listen to Medal of Honor on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Medal of Honor and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup Update.
Spain punches their ticket to the World Cup final with their 2-0 win over France.
Spain, for the second time in their history, will play in the FIFA World Cup final.
Spain has set the record for the most shutouts in a single World Cup with their 6th of the tournament. They await the winner of tomorrow's semifinal between Argentina and England.
Download the iHeartRadio app for live Fox coverage of every game. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show, the line outside is more important than the food inside. Andy Reesmeyer is one of these guys.
A sheep.
A sheep. Bah for us.
Bah.
The Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow at 9.
$1,000 giveaway.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Green. That's GREEN. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash.
KFI.
The word is green. Green. Enter that at KFIAM640.com/cash. Enter the keyword green. If you win, you'll get an email. Check your junk and spam folder. And there's a new winning keyword every hour, every weekday. Starts in the 9 o'clock hour with Gary and Shannon all the way to the 5 o'clock hour. And next chance to win is with Gary and Shannon at 9:20 tomorrow morning here on KFI. Now, you remember 2 months ago, Gavin Newsom and his insufferable grifter wife, Jennifer Newsom, announced that they were going to be handing out free diapers. This was about a $20 million contract, $6 million this year, and then it was going to be extended for another $12+ million next year. So almost $19 million. And all mothers were going to get a big load of diapers. 40 million diapers in total. The diapers were going to go for about 35 to 40 cents each of your spending your tax money. Now, according to Republican State Senator Tony Strickland, you can go to Target and find the diapers for 16 cents. So why, if the average family can go to Target and get 16-cent diapers, is Gavin Newsom and Jennifer Newsom spending 40 cents a diaper with your tax money? Well, here's the answer. The nonprofit that they're aligned with for this project is called Baby to Baby. The number 2, Baby, the number 2, Baby. They have 2 co-CEOs. One of them is Nora Weinstein. And guess what? She sits on the board of Jennifer Newsom's nonprofit, the California Partners Project. Woohoo, look at that. So she is a girlfriend of Jennifer Newsom, and she just got a contract worth nearly $20 million. Now, there's another co-CEO for Baby to Baby, Kelly Sawyer Patrikoff, a prolific political donor. Oh, I wonder who she donates to. Democratic legislators are now complaining about this deal because it looks so bad. State Senator Caroline Menjivar, who's a Democrat from here in the Valley, San Fernando Valley. I will say the optics of this vendor is not good at all. What do you mean the optics? The optics. Why'd you say it? This looks like a scam. This looks like a scam that Jennifer Newsom's friends are getting a $19 million contract to buy diapers using tax money at 35 cents a diaper instead of 16 cents a diaper. And nobody was asking for diapers. Because we have a tremendous amount of money that we spend on welfare, on food stamps, on all kinds of social services. And if you're having babies and you don't have much money, there are plenty of programs that you can have access to pay for the diapers. There's also this unique option in American society. You can go get a job And maybe you should work a while before you start having babies. But let's say you have the baby, you're not making enough money. There's plenty of programs to get money to buy things at the grocery store and things at Target. There was no outcry to have a separate government program below $20 million of tax money to enrich the friends and political donors of Gavin and Jennifer. But that's what happened. On top of that, it's been 2 months, and Julie Watts at CBS News in Sacramento says after 2 months, Californians still have been not allowed to see the contract or the competitive bid records. They suspect there were no competitive bids, that Gavin and Jennifer just gave the contract to Jennifer's friend just because they can. And then they're hiding the records. Now, by law, they're supposed to show the records within 10 days. Or at least they have 10 days to let the public know when they're going to provide the records. Well, Gavin and Jennifer spent 24 days trying to decide whether or not it would allow Californians to see the records, and then said it would take another 42 days, that's 6 more weeks, to provide a copy of the contract. So that would be 9 weeks to show the contract, and if there were any competitive bids, which nobody thinks there was. On top of that, as if, well, that's not bad enough, California lawmakers are now trying to pass a bill that would allow agencies and the Newsoms to further delay responses. There's something called the Public Records Act that requires eventually agencies and officials to show the paperwork. And now they want to delay it, and they want to charge you a lot of money. Some idiot named Bianca Pacheco, an assembly member, she wants to allow agencies to sue if they think a request is malicious. Now, what's the definition of a malicious request? If I think the Newsoms are up to some grifter action here, and I want to see the diaper records, is that considered malicious, and now I can get sued? That's what it sounds like. Of course they would say that's malicious. You're just looking for a crime. I go, yeah, I'm looking for a crime. And they also want to charge up to $66 an hour to provide public records. Even the ACLU got mad at that. The ACLU joined with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association and the League of Women Voters and all these other organizations to say, no, you can't charge us $66 an hour and threaten to sue just because we want to see public records about your diaper scam that your friends are enriching themselves on. They tried to push that, but a lot of the language got stripped in a committee. But they're still keeping the part where the agencies can take weeks and weeks and months to even answer, which is wrong. See, here's the thing. There should be a lot of paperwork if this was a competitive bid, because you ought to have an executed contract. There ought to be a procurement packet, like on how they got the diapers, the scope of the work, like how many diapers, where do they go, the competitive bid sheets. And Gavin and Jennifer aren't releasing any of that. Of course, maybe taxpayers should call up Baby to Baby and ask Nora Weinstein and Kelly Sawyer Patrikoff, all those people, and say, did you, if you offered the lowest bid, how come your diapers are 35 cents and Target diapers are 16 cents? And why does anybody need free diapers from you people anyway? When we come back, it's all the rage to try to chase rich people out of states like California and New York. Well, in New York, there's something called the Citizen Budget Commission, and they have actually figured out how much tax revenue was lost in New York by chasing out rich people. It's a pretty stunning amount, and this is what's going on in California as well. But you'll see the New York numbers. Deborah Mark is live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The operators of the burned-out Lineage Logistics warehouse in Boyle Heights have been given a second environmental violation notice due to persistent odors in the nearby neighborhoods. The South Coast Air Quality Management Agency issued the first notification Sunday, then a second one yesterday after getting more complaints from residents. The company says efforts to remove rotting food and other debris from the fire-damaged building are continuing. LA Mayor Bass and LA County Supervisor Barger are trying to secure $15.7 billion from Congress for the region's long-term recovery from the Palisades and Eaton fires. Bass and Barger sent a letter to top congressional leaders calling for federal funding to restore critical infrastructure and provide residents with much-needed housing and financial support. Some long-term residents are not happy about ads for an adult website that keep popping up in their neighborhood.
The bright-colored ads placed near businesses and homes promote an adult hookup site offering adult fun. Several of them have been seen on the sides of parked trailers or parked vans. Long Beach Councilmember Tanua Thrash and Took says her office has received nearly 100 complaints about the ads, and she spoke to NBC4.
This is the wrong community, the wrong place, and the wrong message. And we will not stop until we identify a solution that removes this kind of advertising in family-friendly neighborhoods.
Long Beach police say they'll take enforcement action when appropriate. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
A man running away from immigration and other federal agents in Florida has been hit and killed by a big rig. Authorities say he was one of 4 people in a car at a convenience store in St. Augustine who took off from ICE and Homeland Security Department officers. This was the third death in about a week involving ICE agents following shootings in Texas and Maine. The Trump administration has now told immigration and customs enforcement officers to suspend most vehicle stops. And Disney's live-action remakes are beginning to die off.
Moana with Dwayne Johnson in a wig made $43 million in its domestic opening last weekend. Not bad, but not great considering it's the lowest opening for a live-action remake outside of Snow White last year. It also cost $250 to $350 million to make. The original animated Moana made $57 million in its debut in 2016, and Moana 2, also animated, made $140 million its first weekend just 2 years ago. Disney's also running out of animated originals to remake as live action. A live action remake of Tangled from 2010 is currently in the works. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
We're going to go back to the 405 next.
Super Sure. Let me tell you about them. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line for them. They give you a handshake, they take a commission, and they're done, and you may never hear from them again until it's time for renewal. Meantime, your business is running all year, and you have the gaps in the coverage and the risk all year as well. So I'm telling you about Super Sure, because if your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, or the HR manager, the whole thing can be too complicated just to buy a policy online. Super Sure is the super agency built for you. It's licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits. And you have year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. This translates your current policy into plain English to see what you really have, what's covered, what's not. Plus, a business value calculator. So you can estimate what your business is worth so you know exactly what needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com, supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Southland weather from KFI. It's going to be sunny and hotter tomorrow. Upper 80s and 90s for Metro LA, 102 to 111 for the valleys. 90s to around 107 and windy in the high desert and the IE. Upper 70s to low 80s at the beaches. Upper 80s to low 90s inland OC. Right now, 87 in Laguna Woods and 88 in Rancho Santa Margarita. Back to the 405 in Sherman Oaks.
A lot of progress is being made here with this wreck on the North 405 coming up on Burbank Boulevard. And at last check, they only have the carpool lane open, but it looks like quite a few lanes are open now. Possibly all. I'm just waiting for the thumbs up from the Highway Patrol, but traffic is definitely flowing through much better than it was earlier. If you see what lanes are now blocked, pound 250, keyword KFI traffic, but they have cleared a few of these cars off of the freeway, so they're just about ready to wrap things up. Overall slowing for that 405 northbound. Still a big mess, though, when you're backing up all the way out of Culver City from just about Washington Boulevard. It's tough. And then we're looking at the 170 northbound out of North Hollywood. That drive's loading up as well, getting away from, looks like about Sherman Way all the way to the 5 merge. That 5 northbound slows in Sun Valley from almost Tuxford as you continue and stretches to the 14 with Southern California's most accurate traffic reports. I'm Angel Martinez.
All right, imagine this. You're at work and your phone buzzes. It's your kid's number and it's your kid's voice. And they're panicked, saying he's been in an accident and needs money wired right now. Now, you would move heaven and earth, wouldn't you? But that's what a scammer is counting on. Here's what they're doing. Criminals buy your info from data brokers. They grab your kid's voice off a video, clone it with AI, and make that call. I've seen news stories on this. Now, you can't stop them from cloning a voice, but you can make sure they never get your number in the first place. And that's done with Incogni's help. Incogni. I have this. It's spelled INCOGNI. Incogni will contact hundreds of data brokers and force them to delete your personal information and then keep it gone. Go to incogni.com/KFI. Promo code KFI. You save 60% off their regular prices. That's incogni.com/KFI. Use the promo code KFI.
When it comes to accessing your home's value, what you don't know might be the only thing standing in your way.
I don't understand.
Exactly.
Huh?
An HEI from Splatero will give you a lump sum of cash upfront in exchange for a share of your home's future value.
An HEI? What's the difference between that and a HELOC?
Everything that matters. A HELOC is a loan with variable interest rates that often have DTI requirements and monthly payments. With a Splatero HEI, there is no DTI requirement, and most importantly, no monthly payments.
Oh, I like that one. The no payments one.
Of course, you're smart. And check this out. A HELOC has strict income and credit requirements. A Splatero HEI requires only a 500 minimum credit score and no income requirement.
So much better. It seems like the only reason to confuse them is that they both start with H.
Just remember Splatero. HEI means Splatero. Visit SPLITERO.com today and access your home's equity. No monthly payments, just cash in hand. Splatero.
Would you take 15 seconds to save 15% to freshen your breath? Go to Zelmans.com and use the code SAVE. That's ZELMINS.com. Use the code SAVE for fresh, clean breath for hours.
If you haven't had a termite inspection in the last 3 years, don't wait for costly damage. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free termite inspection from a licensed technician. If you have termite activity, we have the right treatment. No tent, no poisonous gas, no move out. Orange oil treatment will have minimal disruption at home with tenants or your business. Get 10% off, a 2-year warranty, and 90 days same as cash. OAC, serving all of SoCal. Call 800-PACIFIC. PacificCoastTermite.com. Some restrictions
Hi,
apply.
this is Dave Roberts. Heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, that's a risk. That's why everyone needs a medical emergency kit at urgentcarekit.com/blue.
L&K's Therapy Thursday is a podcast. The stories are real, the drama is messy, and the advice is life-changing. Catch it now on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts. L&K's Therapy Thursday, the podcast.
Call 844-GO-SMILE to learn about the new Lifestyle Smile dental implants from Lasting Smiles.
Have a termite problem? You must act fast. Call Ecola at 1-800-332-BUGS.
KFI.
More stimulating talk.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. We're on till 6 o'clock. After 6, you miss stuff, you go to the website, John Kobylt Show. Well, you go to the iHeartRadio app, John Kobylt Show on demand. That's right. And we're live on YouTube now as well. The progressives, the communists, the socialists, however they describe themselves, they're really stupid. They're full of this ugly hatred of successful people. And they think they can actually control successful people and keep them in California and take their money. And that the successful people will not do anything about it. which is incredibly stupid. And it's being proven every day that that's a false belief. This time, though, I'm going to give you New York as an example because the New York Post published the results of a study by the Citizen Budget Commission. Now, the communist Mamdani, who, by the way, is not that bright a guy. He's nothing more than a smile and a beard. And he's running around screaming about taxing the rich. Just so you know, in New York, and it's very similar to California, the top 1% pay 45% of all the state income taxes. So when you have a relatively small group paying a very large share of the income tax revenue, you ought to be nice to them and say thank you. Maybe take them to dinner. Send them some flowers. And instead, Mamdani, the a-hole, and the idiot governor they have there, Kathy Hochul, they and other governors and mayors from Andrew Cuomo to, who is that buffoon loser? Oh, what was his name? The mayor of New York. He was there for 8 years. He was this big, burly, stupid guy.
De Blasio.
De Blasio. I interviewed him once. Absolute block of wood. Nothing going on there. He was mayor for 8 years. He was the equivalent of Eric Garcetti. Anyway, the Citizen Budget Commission has discovered that New York's politics and tax system has chased out so many millionaires that $11 billion a year in tax revenue has disappeared and gone to other states. That's how stupid they are. They want to tax the rich, force them to pay their fair share and other nonsense. They just leave, and then they pay nothing to your state. They go to Florida, which has a 0% income tax. 0% whether you make $10 or $10 billion a year. And now, with the internet, they can easily go and run their companies. They can move their entire companies to these states, and they're welcome. By the way, you know Florida has a huge budget surplus, even without an income tax? And they're looking at phasing out the property tax there for your primary home. New York has lost more population to every state than it has gained from those states, with Florida and Texas getting the most former New Yorkers. Florida and Texas, their economies are expanding so rapidly. Their populations are increasing. Their tax bases are increasing. And they don't have income taxes. New York, meantime, has this massive income tax on the wealthy that pays almost half of all the income tax in New York, and they've lost all these millionaires. They're losing $11 billion a year. There was a mass exodus when New York shut down everything during COVID, and the population bounced back a little, but it was mostly international immigrants. Same thing as here. That's the replacement. So you lose everyone from the middle class and upper middle class who wanted their kids to go to school to the wealthy and the super wealthy who don't want to give away, 12, 14% of their income every year. They're hemorrhaging workers all over the state. And they used to have the second largest share of the nation's millionaires at 12.7%. It's now dropped to 8.7%. Of course, the idiot Mamdani is running around saying that the fears that the rich are going to leave are overblown, except they've already left. He says there's more millionaires now than before the tax increases, which is true. But millionaires increased far greater in most of the other states. It quadrupled in Florida because there's just a lot more millionaires, because there's a lot more people getting wealthy from the stock market. So many people invested money in the tech stocks over the last 10 to 15 years. I mean, go look at what the stock market averages were in 2010 after the big crash, and look at them now. And if you've taken every dollar that you've wasted on nonsense, every dollar that you wasted on OnlyFans or your gambling app, and all the other garbage that you spend money on, and you put that into the stock market, into tech stocks, you'd have a lot of money. Well, this is what the wealthy people do. They take their money and they put it into investments, and then they get a lot more money, and then you have the smile and the beard saying, well, no, that's mine. Well, no, it's not yours. You didn't earn the original principal. You didn't make the investments. You had nothing to do with the tech companies that have grown so dramatically, increasing the value of their stock. You had nothing to do with it. You're just now at the back end saying, give me. Get the bleep out. And they all still says, oh, they're not going to leave. Yes, they are. They have tremendously. It's not hard to look up. It's happening in California as well. Their hatred, their emotional hatred of people who are successful is so overwhelming. They claim they want the rich people's money to redistribute it, give it to the poor to make it more fair, except they're losing all this tax money. So there's less money available for those programs for the poor. They end up making things worse for the people they want to. And they're not giving them money, or their programs aren't effective. Much of it's stolen. Much of it here in California, in LA, obviously stolen. That's why they're doing this. They want a greater pipeline of wealthy people's tax money so they can steal it. All right, we got more coming up when we come back. The Generation Z, according to neuroscientists, is the first generation that is less cognitively capable than their parents. And why do you think that is? We'll tell you about it. It's a fascinating study. Deborah Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. President Trump changes his mind on a proposed security fee for ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. And Rolling Stones singer Mick Jagger is saying that he regrets taking advice from John Lennon. We'll have more at the top of the hour. We'll check the freeways next.
Inheriting a home can be overwhelming. Between repairs and the time it takes to get everything ready, it can feel like it's more trouble than it's worth, and that's where Seller's Advantage comes in. One real customer who inherited a home shared this experience. It would have taken us a lot of time, money, and headaches to get the property in shape to sell. I heard about Seller's Advantage from radio commercials and decided to try them, and their offer was reasonable, and they took care of all the physical effort and legal complexities, closed within 3 weeks. No matter what your reason to sell, you call Seller's Advantage, 888-321-AS-IS, 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 or get your free no-obligation cash offer at sellersadvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 0196165A, Providence Realty DRE number 0191522.
Southline weather from KFI. Sunny and even hotter tomorrow. Highs ranging from the upper 70s to around 111. This report brought to you by AutoZone from your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center. We make it easy. Stall on the 10 in Mid-City.
So this one's been reported on the eastbound side, coming up on National, blocking the right lane. Delays out of Santa Monica, getting away from Cloverfield. Looks like this wreck is wrapping up in Sherman Oaks on the 405 northbound, just before Burbank Boulevard. I would say at least most of the lanes are cleared. They may have a lane still blocked off because you do have delays all the way to the scene of this crash, but then you have a decent opening beyond. And Delays in the backup are loading up out of Culver City from almost the 90. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
I recently opened up a new account at Infinity Bank based in Orange County. It was by far the easiest process to switch my banking needs to them. Call Victor Guerrero. He's the president at Infinity Bank. He'll talk to you anytime, any day. You call him at 657-223-1000, and they'll do everything to make you satisfied with excellent customer service. They're really good. Victor's a good guy. They succeeded in delivering value to you. They will not nickel and dime you on any fees. If you're interested in switching to a new bank, call my guy Victor at Infinity Bank, 657-223-1000, or go online at infinity.bank. Member FDIC.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help you troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Declare your independence from dated, tired windows.
This July, get $1,776 off new windows and enjoy better energy savings, curb appeal, and comfort.
For 25 years, homeowners like you have trusted American Vision windows with most jobs done in a day. And this month, your project costs a lot less.
But you have to book this July. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com or call 888-785-5713, 888-785-5713.
New customers only. Some restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Offer ends July 31st, 2026.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
After an accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? Wilshire Law Firm brings clarity when things feel uncertain. While you focus on healing, we fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. Call now. 1-800-ABCDEFG. Wilshire Law Firm is in L.A.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that there are lots of things that can make your engine light come on, besides your engine. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's technicians are specially trained to diagnose what's causing your engine light to come on and fix it, no matter what it is. Keep your eyes on the road and your ears open for another episode of AMCO's Bet You Didn't Know.
AA MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. See AMCO.com for complete details.
Call 1-800-GO-AMCO today.
I'm Duncan Newman, owner of Newman Windows and Doors.
And I'm Maria Newman. When you choose Newman, you get more than new windows. You get our 7-point promise. Certified craftsmen only, no subcontractors, transparent pricing guaranteed, and more.
Right now, buy 2 Milgard vinyl windows and get 1 Milgard window free, plus our lifetime installation guarantee. At Newman, we finish it right. Period. No excuses.
Ask about our fire recovery program, 8777-NEWMAN or newmanwindows.com.
Restrictions apply. License number 570472. Offer ends July 31st, 2026.
When power goes out and cell networks fail, AM radio can be a lifeline with local news, weather, and emergency information. But time is running out. AM radio could disappear from new cars unless Congress acts. Please text the 2 letters AM to 39179 and tell Congress to vote yes on the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Text the letters AM to 39179. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop. This message furnished by this station.
You'll learn more before breakfast than most people learn all day. Wake Up Call with Amy King. Live 5 to 6 a.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, it's Conway Show. Today after 6 p.m., a super duper El Nino is on its way. We'll tell you what that is going to include when it comes to rain and flooding. That's all today after 6, right here on the Conway Show.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. John Kobylt Show. And we're on for a few more minutes. And then at 6 o'clock, Conway's going to be here. Also, we'll release our podcast after 6, John Kobylt Show on demand, same as the radio show, whatever you missed. Final thing I want to get into is Fortune Magazine has done a story You have researchers now looking whether after 25 years of students trying to learn on laptop computers and iPads, whether it helped them get smarter, do better on tests, become better workers as they go into the workforce, which used to be the purpose of school. And they found out that actually this generation is less cognitively capable than their parents. This is according to a neuroscientist named Jared Cooney Horvath, who in testimony before a Senate committee says Gen Z is less cognitively capable than previous generations, despite all the access to technology. They're the first generation in modern history to score lower on standardized tests that measure literacy and numeracy. And it's been declining for over 10 years. Not only are the test scores going down, but also it's connected to the scores go down in proportion to the time spent on computers in school. The more screen time, the less well they did, the less cognitively sharp they are. And this is not even including scrolling through all the garbage on social media. This is because you learn much better when you have paper and a pen or a pencil than when you're taking information and typing it into an iPad. Just the way the brain works. Students having unfettered access to technology, Horvath says, led to their skills atrophying rather than bolstering their capabilities. And the introduction of the iPhone didn't help. And he says it's not about rejecting technology. It's just, that's not how human learning works. They looked at Maine. Maine was an early adopter, as they say. The governor back then, Angus King, had a statewide laptop program. In Maine, 17,000 laptops became 66,000 by 2016. So they've been at this for almost a quarter of a century in Maine. And 10 years ago, they figured out that schools had not improved in 15 years. As soon as they brought in the laptops and the iPads, scores either flattened out or went down. The governor, Paul LePage, at the time in 2017, said the program was a massive failure. They spent tons of tax money on Apple. And students' brains, like almost literally atrophied. They retain far less information, far less learning when it came to the stuff you can measure in math and reading. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Conway is next. And we've got Michael Crozier live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KF.